Let's kick it old school! Old school essentials! The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury!
All right, it is the Further Adventures of the Thunderous Fury session 67. Time for the recap. And I can do it if you want, or I'll let you two guys do it. That's fine.
I will try and do the recap for
Go for it.
Clintok's craziness. Let me paint you a picture. Many brew houses, all corrupt, well, mostly corrupt, except for one grumbly old man. The plot, the scheme, is to inform the Lady Harrimore that each and every member of her council is bereft of consciousness. There we go. I started my afternoon. Yeah, that's right. Less than 48 hours in. I first started by visiting the Lady Daphne at House Halfwood. And there I showed up and I pronounced that I was merely a go-between, a salesman of sorts, person to make sure a deal gets made without getting your hands dirty. And it was in this conversation with the lady that I come to understand that her biggest competition was none other than Lord Ogsbody, or Brewmaster Ogsbody, whatever his preference is. But coming to understand this, we hatched a plan that she invite him under a ruse to her house for a meal. And when he arrived, because as we were entering the home, we were made well aware that there was a no shoes policy. And as we had come to understand it, it seems as if Ogsbody's little teleportation device that gets him to his private quarters is none other than those hideous asparagus green boots that he wears. So while he is dining, feasting upon cake and other food, getting drunk, thinking that the lady has invited him over to get advice on her latest brew, one of the party members will sneak off with said green boots and find what actually is in those private quarters, hopefully a recipe. And if nothing else, something for blackmail. I have most generously offered a draft of said letter that the Lady Daphne will be sending for such a feast. And having left, thinking that, well, I've got one. And that deal that I made wasn't for money. It was for 3 votes anytime I wanted them on the council. So that's one council member corrupt. So next, I headed to another house. Well, it was a busy day, so I've forgotten the order. But I'll tell you how each and every one of them corrupt in turn. I then made my way to House Oberon. And here at House Oberon, I was not able to meet with the brewmaster. Instead, I was only able to meet with one of his servants. And it had come to knowledge through conversation that the brewmaster was somehow unavailable. And I'm still not sure what's going on with that, but I did notice that the person so generously taking over the estate's duty, he needed some help, mostly in the clothing department. See, he's been trying to get an appointment with the tailor, and the tailor never responds. I told him that if he would offer the same deal that I had given the Lady Daphne, that I would make sure that he got the finest of finery from our tailor friend. So, continuing on, more houses, more corruption. I then made our way to visit the brewmaster Humblebuff, and when I came across his estate, he generally brews for the poor, the weak, the unhoused, whatever it may be. And I was met by a rather plain estate and a salt of the earth fellow. There is no convincing of him to either give me votes or really let me do anything for him. He was tending to his field and he basically wanted to just get back to his job. So while I couldn't corrupt this individual, I knew in our conversation that if I proved that all the rest of the brewmasters were corrupt, that he would vote in my direction. So, feeling assured of that, I left to another house. And in this case, I let our dear friend Basil take over. We went to the Rappan Brewery's house where we walked into what seemed like a rather raucous garden party. And I made myself scarce while Basil Wilberforce roamed around, cavorted, actually engendered himself to Lord Ignatius or Brewmaster Ignatius. They got along quite well. And then as the night went on, we partied for a while as it was. We were able to first get some private counsel with Ignatius, but then soon after were separated while he went to do something else. His wife, I believe, took us aside and asked us what we were doing and what it is that we had in mind. For a long time, they have been under the suspicion that there's something going on with House Ober, and they believe that it's related to brew talk.
So yeah, when you talked to her, she said House Oberon is famous and legendary for their brews, and she said the only reason they can keep that competition is because they hire bandits, and sometimes the bandits get caught by Captain Hogwash, and they just get let go. And she has in her possession, what'd she say? Her evidence. Lucy said she had in her possession eyewitness accounts and confessions from them that, but if she brought it up to the council, they would just dismiss them.
Right.
So she was hoping to get, one of the bandits to actually have to confess. And she said that she thought there was some in Fort Vulgar. In fact, there was one whose name was Bruco or something that was here and arrested, but he's probably gone to Fort Vulgar and he's working as like a dock worker.
Yes. So in help exposing House Oberon, she would also trade away votes on the council. If you're keeping count here, I think we've got 1, 2, 3 members of the council who will now trade away 3 votes. I wonder what I can do with all of that. Not quite the majority yet. Then we made a trip to House Cogsworth, where we met the delightful Wolfrinda. Helped her son, I believe, or daughter, I can't quite recall, retrieve some money that they had lost. Several gold pieces, to be precise. Wolfrinda was quite happy that they'll be more compliant at that time, it would seem. So we talked for a little bit, and I let her know that while most of their distribution has been isolated to the dolmen wood, that I indeed knew a way to get the supply out of the dolmen, and that if she would like to make a deal, that I would give her a distribution line that no one else would have. And while she didn't agree on the day to this deal, she said that if I returned tomorrow, she would have an answer for me. So maybe that's another set of votes in my favor. I think she was a little bit more persnickety in that she only offered 2 votes instead of 3, if I remember correctly. But maybe that was one of the other council members. 1 vote. And the night was going on and on. We finally got to, in the wee hours of night, to House Wakaliki, where we met a quite disturbing and unusual man. We entered his home, and it was piled high everywhere one could see with stacks of books and papers, and he offered to prepare us tea or brew, quite unsure exactly what it was, more than just that it tasted awful. But he seemed to be running the entire place by himself, and while I tried several tacks with this gentleman, I think we alluded to the fact that we could get him some labor that maybe he didn't have to pay for. But who knows? I think that is quite corrupt. And he did also offer to trade votes for this potentially. As we were getting ready to leave, he made the most unfortunate error of letting one of his books fall to the floor. And therefore, we saw what could we only spy was the ledger that had previously been stolen from Ogsbody. And now, maybe I make a deal with him, but I think we've already got one over on this one. So less than 48 hours, we're doing pretty good. And the idea here is maybe I make good on any of these deals, but first, I thought it might be of interest to Lady Harrimore, and since we're already paying her a visit, that she know that her counsel is not so, shall we say, virtuous, and that maybe she should create a new council and remove all of the brewmasters from said council. I can think of people in the town, maybe some newcomers, I don't know, like myself.
Yourself, who is going to be leaving almost immediately? Never mind.
On diplomacy, diplomatic missions with other towns.
Yeah, well done. Ogsbody said he'd give you 3 votes. You are in charge. He has put you in charge to find the thief. You visited him and he was sleeping on his table amongst the food. You woke him up and he was in disarray and eating cake that had gotten into his vest. And you did explore the house as much as you could from the guy who ran the elevator, and there's kind of a secret way to get in the back. I think where some of the staff lives or some of the security lives. Pilston, who makes the low-grade brew, basically follows Lady Harrimore. Whatever she wants, that's why he serves on the council, to help her. Cobbsworth was 1 vote.
Oh, right.
Master Peabody, that's what he called himself at Oberon, and you knew he was lying when he said the brewmaster had been sick for a few days. You realized you could tell he's lying. It was probably longer than that.
Yeah.
Went to the tailors.
Oh, right.
And
Completely forgot this.
Basil Wilberforce snuck in, grabbed a piece of measuring tape, and was turned into a hog, which he came back out.
Yep.
And Clintok told him, "You're not done. Get back in there and get some more evidence." So he had to go back in and out, and you grabbed a piece of measuring tape and a drawing of a cloak. I believe you stashed the measuring tape near Earl's Court in the benches, and you took the drawing with you.
Yep.
You went back to the church, and they were admiring the bell that you had brought because they had set it up. They had some ropes. They changed Basil Wilberforce back. His story was late last night. He saw the tailor, and he turned him into a hog. And they were very suspicious. In fact, the Reverend pulled Clintok aside and kind of warned him that this person who he is with could be dangerous. He was of a chaotic nature. That's what she said. He's very chaotic.
No
That was
shit,
because
Sherlock.
he was trying very clumsily to pin it on the tailor to make, trying to add to that story that the tailor is the one that was actually leaving there and stole that stuff. But, Basil is unbelievable. So he tried something different later when the way he made friends at that party was him walking right up and just said, "Hey, I'm here to crash the party."
Right. And they took delight in the fact that you had come to crash the party. It was for workers. They were celebrating that. Ignatius thought that was great that you were coming and crashing his party. He was delighted at that fact and enjoyed your company. You also spoke to...
spoke to his mom, wasn't it?
Oh, Elvira is you would assume, his wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there was another person you spoke to. I believe it was the person who ran Wrinkled Medlar. Did you go back there?
Oh, yeah. We definitely went back there.
Yes,
Both
you did,
from-
because somebody said was a confidant, because you talked to one of the houses and they said, I think was House Halwithan.
Yeah.
I think, and you said the person who runs the Wrinkled Medlar was a confidant, and you said, oh, I need to go. Yes, Madrid.
Yeah.
You talked to her, and she had heard a rumor that something was stolen from Ogsbody's party. She said that House Pilston is the weakest house. She also mentioned that Lady Amore, her husband, ran off with another woman to Castle Brackenwold, and her grandfather had some kind of collection of ceramic dolls or something that she had to sell. That's where she got a lot of her money. And the tailor pays up front. And you asked, well, has the tailor done anything, like pissed anybody off? And she said, oh, yeah, one time, a Morgan Fox set. He had made a dress for her getting married, and it didn't turn out too well, and she was very upset. You asked her what was the cost of said information. She said, as long as you reciprocate, it is free.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. It's so many things.
It's a lot. That's why, I had the benefit of watching and taking notes. So that's fine. Not a problem. Yes. And the brew that Wakalicki had there was cinnamon, queen's blood, and natron that he thrust upon you and you did not like. He said it was terrible. Oh, and you also got into a discussion where he mentioned the fact that he thought Brandy Bile was a warlock, or you did, but he thought, because he said something about turned somebody into a hog. I don't know if you brought that up, but the whole thing was Brandy Bile was a warlock.
Right. And this was actually part of, he was like, won't somebody get rid of this meddlesome priest, but instead won't somebody get rid of this meddlesome, bothersome tailor, was what he had basically said.
Yeah.
And Randy Bile is the tailor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he thinks that he's some kind of warlock.
So if we need to pin something on somebody trying to pin false evidence on Bile, then we can pin it on Wackley.
Yes, that is what you did that day. So we cut back to Orion, John Tor, and Basil Bessick. Let's see, and Karn and his squire, Jeremiah.
Jeremiah the Bullfrog.
Well, that's his nickname, aka the Bullfrog.
Where are we at?
You guys are in Prigwort at the Clashed Antler, and obviously you've spoke to the old Dobie, I think, that morning to figure out what happened to your friends, and you got the idea that you saw a vision of like a black obelisk and some water, and because I think that was what you were asking.
Yeah.
Russell and Dustin, give me a D20 roll.
The 13.
13. Okay.
2.
2. Okay. Sir Rickon also shows up. Well, that's when he deposited the money that morning and told you that Lady Harrimore would like to see you at some point, to be honored guest at Harrimore Keep whenever you decide, to make your way up there.
Right.
Put on my get clothes.
Sir Rickon, when you describe what you're talking about, like your vision, he knows where you're talking about, and he will gladly take you to this area because he's a knight and that's what he does. It will take a couple hours, probably, by late afternoon, you should be there.
They drunk walked a couple hours. Man, they must have had a really good time.
Yeah, it's a known bard's phenomenon. It's drunk time. How you can do things when you're drunk that you absolutely could not or would not be able to do while you're absolutely stone cold sober.
So is there anything the group in Prigwort is going to do before you leave and we'll connect with the other group?
Well, as I don't think everybody else is on, but you hear the standard whine of John Tor's like, I'm in a brewing town. I want to go sample all the breweries. And Orion basically smacks him upside the head and goes, nope, we got missing comrades. You can come back and get your brew on once we figure out where everybody's gone.
Yeah, I'll buy you some beer later. Work first, then party.
Basil's going to see if the inn has a larder from which they can purchase like kind of light provisions, or like on the way out stop to get some provisions. Because
at the Clashed Antler, you get a breakfast, so she would, they would give you some food.
Yeah, he's looking for goat jerky. So
Of course he is. He always is. It's his goal in life.
it's lean and full of protein.
Give me a D6 roll.
3.
Okay, no, they do not have goat jerky.
Do you know a place in town that might?
I'm not sure. Is it really important to have goat jerky?
Yes. If you have a favorite item on the menu, you just don't take it off willy-nilly. You have to make sure that you keep the item on the menu. And for me, goat jerky is like hotcakes.
Well, this old woman who's like in her 80s. Let me see what I have in the back. Let's see what she has.
He's like watching her go back. And even though he's got like this breakfast that he's eating, you can feel his stomach just like rumble at the prospect.
It's that loud. She comes out with some seared chicken.
It isn't quite the same, but this is good. He takes a bite.
I mean, yeah, it's cooked. I mean, she
Cooked
pulls a
well.
couple more feathers off of it.
A couple more feathers off of it.
Well, if you don't mind, I would love to take this for the road.
Oh, you sure can. You got to keep up your strength.
Exactly. These muscles won't flex by themselves.
Yeah, it helps him flex his muscles.
So you guys head out of Prigwort with Basil has his chicken. Sir Rickon will tell you also along the way that some people in Prigwort sometime late last night or whatever claim they saw figures moving out in the woods outside the town, and he thinks these are probably Crookhorn scouts.
Great.
But he's alerted those back at the garrison and they know about it. But this shouldn't be any surprise to anybody in Prigwort because, the Nag Lord is just to the north and they expect him to attack at some point. At least he thinks.
Now, is
So-
this the whole group together now?
Yeah, so you guys arrive at this pool. It's basically a glade with a clear, placid pool with some pale green water lilies on it and a big, tall black obelisk that is in the middle. And there's some trees and shrubs around it. And when you arrive, you see your two compatriots there sleeping on the ground, restfully sleeping, both wearing vests and breech clouts. And one has his shield and the other and his sword, right? Like Felix got his sword and he fished the shield out, and Zofan has his copper willy and his leather helmet that he's wearing. And they're blissfully sleeping in this grass.
Karn looks at him disapprovingly and takes off his helm and dunks it in the water and splashes it all over. Time to wake up, slug of heads!
Ryan's going to investigate the obelisk. It looks like something interesting. Maybe something, a place of power or something like that.
Karn,
Manganese.
you go and dunk the water on them, waking up as Orion kind of walks over to the edge to look at the obelisk. Orion, in the water, you see what looks to be some sort of spectral figure coming to the surface, like right below the water. It's a woman.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Karn, get back. It's haunted. And I will step away.
Karn springs back. Haunted, you say? Outsburg shall not abide this.
The poor woman is stuck in there. She's bound to this pool, to the black obelisk, and bound to this pool.
So it's not an evil spirit. It's an enslaved spirit. Very much different.
So there is a spectral woman just below the surface. You see her eyes have sort of a blue burning light, and she's wearing white holy vestments.
Ooh,
Orion, you hear in your head, the staff of the apostle must be restored.
staff of the apostle. Well, supposedly I have a 2 in 6 chance as a bard to know about, legendary quests, magic items, etc. May I roll that?
Yep.
And that would be enough. Oh, well,
Okay.
I'll ask the 2 slogabads who are apparently now somewhat awake. Did she say something to you about the staff of the apostle?
Not much, just the need to restore or whatever.
I sure as heck don't recognize that, but as a bard, that's sounds like a guaranteed quest right there.
No, she's part of. I think she's part of some. Her name is Ira. She's part of some. She's the high priestess of a long forgotten sect. Her staff was destroyed by the Drune.
The Drune.
And the
What are
Drune.
Drune?
They're still here. They come out of the woods. They throw offerings into the pool or items or something. We saw them. They're like bush figures, living bushes.
There were 4 Brambles and then the 2 Drune, which looked like they were definitely human. I mean, human.
Oh, I thought the Drune were the Brambles. Okay.
No, the 2 separate things.
They look human like.
Huh. Maybe another sect, or maybe, something that just looks human. Plenty of that going around.
Is this anything that Karn recognizes?
As far as what?
Like the religion or
No,
the
it's not one
worshippers?
you've ever heard of.
So they're not, related. I imagine Saint Cuthbert is probably somebody, who worship Tyr or something of that sort. I don't know what the gods are in yours, but I didn't know if it would be related in that kind of way. He walks up to the edge of the water and looks down. Can he still see this?
Yeah, you can still see the spectral woman right there beneath the water, staring out.
In the name of Cuthbert, I greet thee.
She gives a quizzical look. You hear in your mind, the staff of the apostle must be restored.
One note first.
So you say, but why?
I am trapped.
Who trapped?
The Drune.
Why did the Drune trap you?
They wish to keep me here.
For what purpose?
They have their own purposes that I am not aware of.
What are your purposes?
To be free, to leave this place.
And once you leave this place, what will you do in the world?
I will go to rest.
You're not seeking to commit acts of good and help people.
Look, I've been dead a long time.
He got her off the. Oh, that's hilarious. He got her off the staff of the apostle crap. I love it.
Been dead a long time. And he looks around at the others and says, not sure if we should trust the dead.
But surely we should help them rest. Finding souls to this realm is evil unless I'm, completely misunderstanding things.
He looks back and says, so you are dead and you are a ghost and you wish to rest?
I wish to be at rest.
When you were alive, did you do good in the world?
Of course we did good in the world.
It's in zone of truth. Resting. That sounds like a good idea. And like Zelfan goes to lay back down. I must go to rest as well.
He turns around and goes, none of that. You need to learn. You can't run with the dogs at night and fly with the eagles in the morning.
Is that a psalm or something?
Psalm 73 of Cuthbert.
Right.
Here in a few minutes, I'll recite all of them to you.
You see her slowly sink beneath the water till you just catch the tiny speck of blue and then they vanish
He manages
beneath
to
the
drive
green
away
water
the-
lilies.
Great. He has managed to drive away the spirit the old-fashioned way.
Well, she doesn't seem evil, or she just seems like stuck here, and she has the impression that she's been stuck here a long time and no one has bothered to help her. And maybe there's good reason that they haven't bothered to help her. I think once I get some pants, we should return to town, or at least see if there's anybody else that we can learn more about this well and who this person is,
Yes.
and what the staff of the apostle, this artifact is. I have not heard of it.
Where are all my things?
Can't even find your pants.
Shall we search for these before the staff of the apostle?
I
Yeah,
think
let's
so.
look around. Wait a minute. They said throw stuff in the pool, and we just managed to drive off the spirits. So fish around, use my spear and sort of fish around in the pool and see if we can't drag out some of their shit or any shit, whatever happens to be in there.
Karn puts Jeremiah to helping him fish it out while he starts reciting the Psalms of Cuthbert, starting with Psalm 1.
Felix just says, be careful not to actually get in there. You'll fall asleep, maybe.
Really? Give me one of your wine skins, an empty one, or we can empty it. Doesn't matter. I'm going to try to fill a wineskin full of the sleepy water. Sounds like something that would be useful, actually.
Okay. Yeah, you fill a wineskin full of the water. Yes.
I have an elixir of sleep. One, because I just filled this out. One of my characters has an elixir of sleep, a sleep elixir. Oh wait, no, that would be to fall asleep, not to wake up. If we could find something to wake things up, what we could do is have like spike all the drinks, and then in one of them put it in antidote, and then just have somebody wake it up, so we could like have the run of a place and like it's like poisoning ourselves, but like not fatal.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing to look for.
All right. So you're kind of going around the water. You scoop up some water. You're going around the glade, looking around. Every once in a while, you can see the blue eyes of the spectral woman kind of moving around the water. If you're searching in the water, give me a D6 roll.
Can you remind me? Did Zofan have Chihai?
No,
That
you
one of
didn't.
the items that one of the items. He had Copper Willie.
Yeah, you only had one item. Yours was Copper Willie, and you found your hat, your leather hat.
Okay. So yeah, he would be looking for a Chihai and hope that no unclean hands have touched it.
Okay.
Jeremiah got a 5.
All right. If you got a 1 or a 2, that's all I need to know. But I know what Orion or John Tor got a 1 or 2.
Orion got a 2, John Tor got a 3.
Orion, you managed to take your spirit. You fish out a bag of marbles and some manacles, and you realize those were Felix's.
Okay, I'll flip them over to Felix there.
I'm missing marbles.
I lost my marbles ages ago. Glad you found yours.
Sir Rickon's like, we're just fishing stuff out of the water? Is that what we think?
Well, I mean, our companions have stuff dumped in there. We're trying to help them out.
Maybe that's a strange spectral woman knows where they are.
That's a great point. Hey, lady. And like Basil will go up to the water and like knock on the side of it as if it were a door.
She comes to the surface, like right below the water, looking at you.
Do you have our stuff?
The staff of the apostle must be restored.
We've heard this before. We will try our best. But to restore the staff of the apostle, whatever was thrown in the pool needs to come out. Otherwise, there ain't nothing being restored. Do you know where the items that have been cast into the pool are buried or are sitting?
If this will get you to help me, then I will search for the items that you are missing.
If this will get you off my back.
Look, lady, we aren't restoring any staff of the apostle without any pants. So yes, we need these to do our job. So help us help you.
So yeah, she looks at you and she gives a sideways kind of look over to where Karn is, and you hear in your mind, just as long as you keep him quiet. And she sinks below the water.
Basil will be like, hey, keep it down over there. We're trying to work. As he just like continues to look into the pool.
So yeah, she vanishes beneath the water. Anybody other than looking for stuff, anybody doing anything else around this glade?
Felix will also just be keeping a lookout for any more Brambles or Drunes to like come up on us while we're searching.
All right. You also noticed, Felix, when you swam out to the obelisk, it had strange writing on it that you didn't recognize.
Right. I'll point to the obelisk to Orion and say, can you read that weird writing out on that obelisk?
Okay. Can I read the writing on the obelisk? I mean, I've taken my languages, and I don't think.
Well, in order to do that, you would have to get in the water, swim out there, and to get on it because it's in the middle.
It sounds like a bad idea.
We can tie a rope to you if you want.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Sure, why the heck not? Who's a bard to ignore the call to adventure?
Zofan's just gonna like smirk, having seen Felix do this and knowing what happened. He's just gonna be like, he's not gonna say anything, but he's just gonna smirk.
So yeah, you get in the water and give me a save versus spells.
Of course. Can't remember if high or good or low good.
High is good in these rolls.
15.
Okay, you have a feeling like, oh, man, I'm getting tired. I could just take a nap, but You press on and you swim up to this black obelisk. It's about 15 feet high, but it's on like a dais that's like right at the water level. And you get up
Okay.
there and there's some writing on there. So, but the strange thing is when you get to, so the day has been kind of a little bit blustery and there's drizzle all day. When you get up to the obelisk, though, it's like warm and sunny out. It's very strange. Like the weather seems to change.
Okay.
And you can see that there are runes and there's some writing all over this thing. Do you have any kind of read language type?
I supposedly get extra languages at my level, but I never picked them out. But I
Okay.
don't have any way to read magical writings or anything.
Give me an intelligence roll. Roll under your intelligence.
1.
Nice.
So you can't read the language, but you're pretty confident this has come the writing on here is some kind of arcane spell.
Okay.
And you would guess it's very elaborate, probably some kind of ritual.
Okay. All righty. That's fun.
And everybody else who's not Orion, give me a D6 roll. Yeah, I need to know if you roll a 1 or 2.
2.
Is Felix the only one?
Yeah.
Sir Rickon looks at you, Felix, and he's like, did you hear that? And you hear something moving. And Felix, you would recognize this is the same kind of like noise that the Brambles made. And you hear them moving through the woods, like headed in your direction.
I will gesture to everybody else to like get down and like hide. Anyone that's facing me, and then like if there's somebody that's like clearly not facing me, I will start making my way in their general direction while I also tug on the rope that is attached to Orion.
Okay. I'm getting the hint that it's, time to vacate.
Which direction are they coming from?
I'll like point the direction.
Is Karn catching this? So he got his back to him.
It's up to, I mean, Sir Rickon would try to get your attention if you hadn't gotten it.
It's duck into the woods and then surprise him.
Karn tells Jeremiah, go hide behind a tree, and no matter what you do, stay there.
See, I have 2 choices. How big is this obelisk? How wide? Would it be possible for me to like maybe hide behind it?
Yeah, I would say so. You could get up and hide around the backside of it. Yeah, you could do that.
Because to me, that would be a whole heck of a lot faster than trying to swim across the water. I mean, unless it's a really narrow swim, it would be a whole lot faster to just hide than it would be, try to swim across the water that's going to try to make me sleepy and get out before these things show up. But how wide is the water there?
I would say for you to get back, it would take a little bit. I mean, the easiest thing for you to do would be to go around and hide behind it, and then you'd have to kind of like drop the rope in the water.
Right. That's what I'll do then, is I'll say, can't make it back quickly. I'm going to hide and sort of untie the rope for myself and quickly drop it in the water close to me and then hide behind the obelisk.
Okay.
John Torrey looks around at everybody going to hide and of course goes to hide. I mean, he can take a hint when it hits him in the face.
So everybody is hiding.
It's in Karn's nature to hide.
I know. I was like,
Yeah, I would think that Basil and Zolfan would like recede into the woods in the opposite direction from which they are coming.
okay.
Karn just stands there with his sword out and his shield at the ready. Maybe they're interested in the Psalms of Cuthbert. Psalm 34.
So yeah, Sir Rickon kind of he's like, and then he sees you standing out there. He remembers the fact that you called him a coward. He hasn't forgotten that. He's like, all right. He takes his sword out and stands there. Lets out a sigh. So Karn and Sir Rickon are out there standing. Everybody else is hiding.
Yeah.
Coming through the woods. First, you see are 2 brambles. The unique thing about these brambles, they have like arms and legs, but they're all of like twisted vines and roots. And they have 2 little green piercing eyes. They just kind of look at you. And each one of these brambles you can see the area where their eyes are is like they're covered in like some kind of yellow fungus. They're not the same brambles that the other 2 encountered. These look different. They are carrying like crude weapons that look rusted, like a rusty dagger, and the other one's got a rusty scythe.
Okay.
Karn
they
looks at Rickon and says, well, strange travelers, aren't they?
Yes. And then as the 2, they kind of come out and they kind of head at an angle watching you. They stand about like 4.5 feet tall. Then coming out of the woods are 2 individuals. One has a crown of antlers, and the other one is wearing a featureless clay mask. They're covered in heavy black cloaks that almost look moldy because they have like black spotches on them, and you could see their white piercing eyes. They are definitely humanoid. They're both carrying staffs, and they stop as soon as they see you. And one steps forward. Be gone. You need to leave this place.
Oh, we were planning on leaving shortly. Well met, travelers. My name is Karn of St. Cuthbert. Have you perhaps heard the good word of the saint?
I am not familiar with your saints, but you need to leave.
Oh, why is that?
This area belongs to the Drune, and you are to leave now.
Are you the Drune? Or
I
he
am
the
one
Drune?
of the Drune.
Oh, well, we were looking to talk to the Drune. I'm glad to have met you.
We have no matters to discuss.
Sure we do. There's a lady in this lake that says you trapped her there.
Yes,
Why is she trapped there?
for the
Was she
purposes
evil?
of the Drune.
Was she evil?
It is inconsequential what her purposes were. They are used now for the Drune.
And what did the Drune do with her?
It is of no concern to you. You will
Well,
leave
actually,
now.
it is. See, she's asked me to free her, and I'm trying to decide whether I need to free her or not. And you not answering makes me think maybe I need to free her.
That is not a decision for you to make. That is a decision for the Drune, and you are to leave.
Oh, I think I'm going to make it my decision. Why do you keep her there?
For the purposes only the Drune shall know.
Oh, I think that Karn and St. Cuthbert are going to find out.
Felix is going to use this like opportunity conversation to try and like, circle back behind where the Drune are at as like quietly as he can, since he's not wearing plate mail currently.
Yes.
All right. I mean, come, friend. Surely you can tell me a little bit about this.
We have no reason to discuss anything. You
So
are
in other
here.
words-
This is a Drune area. You are to leave.
Cuthbert gives me the right to walk anywhere under the sun.
They both look at each other quizzically when you mention this name, like, who the fuck is he talking about? They shrug. They look at the Brambles. They shrug.
I go to hand them some literature of Cuthbert. Here is the word of Cuthbert. We look to do good in the world and spread the cause of righteousness. Take care of the weary and the downtrodden.
So he takes it, he hands it to the other guy. The other guy holds it in his hand, and you see a green flame incinerate it, and it just disappears.
Well, that wasn't
Oopsie.
very nice. I believe I'm finding out all about the Drune that I need to know.
Great.
What do you know about the staff of the apostle?
What about the staff of the apostle? It is no concern of you, of yours, and your group here. You are to leave.
I think I'm going to restore it.
If you wish to be foolish, let you be foolish then.
Well, why would that be foolish?
Our conversation has ended.
Are you threatening me?
This is not a threat. I am telling you to leave now.
Oh, well, when my friends find their stuff, we'll get out of here.
If you have left anything here, it is now the Drunes.
Oh, see, that's what we call stealing. So you're thieves, I take it.
We do not wish to have any of your things. They mean nothing to us.
Well, you won't mind if we find our belongings before we go then.
What have you left here?
As far as I know, some pants and some other sundry items.
We do not care about what you're doing or what kind of orgy you are having. You need to leave this place.
Wow.
I will not be bullied about. It's my understanding that this is the land is run by the Haremore clan.
They are no concern of us.
Oh, maybe that's a little foolish of you.
Our conversation has ended.
Okay, bye now.
And yet people are still talking.
All right. That's when we roll initiative.
Would you rather that Karn would leave, or I mean, the only one I could really confer with is Sir Rick.
No, Karn is being Karn, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to get
Absolutely.
pushed around.
Absolutely. Karn is being Karn.
I think Karn has learned all that Karn needs to know about these guys.
Yeah, when they incinerated his literature, like
All right. I rolled a 2.
Felix got a 6.
You don't have to read into this. You can tell that they are probably going to be hostile. So you guys are up.
All right, so Orion will use a tried and true trusty little spell. I can find the damn thing. It's his entangle. Let me look up druid spells. Make sure I have the range on that is the fun part of it, but I think it was pretty damn long range.
I love the idea of you entangling the Brambles, right?
Maybe they will entangle with themselves. Range 80 feet, so I should be able to tag them across the pool unless that's a hell of a pull.
Yeah, I'll say you can.
I mean, if I have to, obviously combat's happening. I'll come out behind the obelisk and come to the closest edge if necessary. So if they save, they can move through at half speed if they are grabbed and cannot move.
Okay. All right. So I will roll for them. So 3 and 7. Yeah. No, they don't. No. 2 and 8. They are all caught as these vines and everything start growing up and grab onto the brambles and the drune.
And John Tor's going to follow up with his bow since he doesn't have to melee with them since they are entangled. I'm going to presume an 11 misses.
Who are you attacking?
One of the mouthy guy.
All right. Yes, that is a miss.
Okay.
Felix is going to come charging up behind the guy that was most recently bickering back and forth with Karn.
Okay. So it's the guy with the crown of antlers. The other one has a faceless mask. So you're going to have to antler guy.
Yep, for 15.
That's a hit.
For 5 damage.
How close can Karn get to the guy who incinerated?
Yeah,
Really?
they're like right next to each other. So yeah, you can get to that guy.
Without getting entangled myself.
Yeah, because it's just is it an area or is it just them?
All plants present in a 20-foot radius within range bend and twist, entangling creatures inside the area. There's nothing about ongoing effect.
Right.
It happens, and then that's it.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, GM decision, but I think people can move in because there is nothing saying that, it keeps happening.
Yeah, I don't see it as like a condition or anything.
Yeah, the guy who did the incinerating of the literature, A, it pissed Karn off because of that, and B, Karn's following the rule of take out the caster first. He got a 13.
Karn's going after the guy with the mask
Yeah.
who incinerate. Yeah, that's a hit.
Oh, yeah. All right. Nice low AC. 6 points plus, what do I got? +1 or +2 now? +1, 7 points.
All right. Okay.
Basil
That was the word of Cuthbert that you incinerated.
Basil's going to attempt to throw a Percival rock at the one wearing the clay mask
Okay.
in an attempt to crack his mask. Oh,
Nice.
it's a nat 1.
Ooh.
Oh no. Roll a D100 unless you want to use a hustle point.
I'll use a hustle point.
All right.
Oh.
That's a 6. That's probably a miss.
Yeah.
So the rock just misses. It goes wide. But then he's gonna move and get in. He's gonna come out of the trees and close the distance between them so that he can get up and close and personal if he needs to next round.
Okay.
And I have an important question. Are they wearing pants?
Yes, they are. They are wearing pants.
All right. So what Zolfan's gonna do is he's gonna rub Copper Willie's belly to turn invisible,
Okay.
and he is going to sneak up behind, sneak around behind them and attempt to depants them.
Yes.
He has no weapons, so he can't really fight. But what he can do is try to get a pair of pants.
All right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Let's see. I will say you can make a dex roll and grab the pants, but it would probably take a round. There would be a struggle. But I'll give you an attack roll. If you make your attack roll, you manage to depants them.
Okay.
I'll allow you to do that.
All right. So a dex roll or an attack roll, or both.
Right. So yeah, the dex roll will be for you grab the pants and then probably there'll be a struggle. But if you make an actual attack roll, you will get the pants.
Okay. That's a good question. Dex. He's gonna go for the dex roll and then see how this rolls next. That's a nat 1, so that's a critical success.
Okay, so on the dex roll, so you got a critical success. You managed to just kind of sneak up and grab him in one fell swoop. You pull him right off of him, so he kind of falls to the ground.
That'll get Zolfan's turn. He got what he came for.
Well, can he pull them off, though? Because their bottom part of their legs are being grabbed by a bunch of plants.
With a critical success, you were able to.
Wow. So it's like sleight of hand, like pulling out the tablecloth
Yep.
without disturbing the... Wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right. Is that everybody? Oh, Sir Rickon. Sorry. Sir Rickon
Yeah.
will attack. Let's see. Sir Rickon will attack the one with the antlers. And if you can't see, that is a 19. He actually hit.
Ooh, nice.
So he's got a short sword with 1 damage. So the pantsed one who's been stabbed, let's see.
Yeah, which one
No,
was the
no.
pants? Was
Yeah.
it the antler guy or mask guy?
I would say the mask guy because he would be able, you'd be able, so yeah, and that's the one that Karn hit. Let's see what he does. Well, I got Brambles here, so the Brambles probably should do something.
They can't move.
Okay. All right. Well, the Drune, let's see. He will, so the one that's fighting with Karn, who's been depants, will take his staff and attempt to hit Karn with it. Let's see. That's a 17 to hit.
A 17 to hit Corn. I think 19.
It just clangs off your armor. As he hits you with his staff, it just glows. And he kind of looks at his staff like, what the hell?
Wait a minute. I have my AC down as 10 because that was before the plate mail. But I didn't have any plate mail. What is my armor with mail? So plate mail armor gives you a 16. He's got a shield that's 17, and he's got a dex bonus of +1.
Yep.
So 18.
Okay.
Yeah. So it clangs off.
All right. Well, the other one got stabbed by Felix. So he's going to turn around and attack Felix, who has no armor. We'll try to hit him with the staff. 18 to hit.
That definitely hits.
All right. That is 4 damage. And give me a save versus spells.
Fails.
All right. You take an additional 1 point.
Okay.
And you suddenly, there's green flame wherever he hits you on like your shoulder, and this green flame erupts and it starts burning on your shoulder.
Not good.
The Brambles are perplexed because the fact that they've been entangled, and they usually are the ones doing the entangling. So they take their crude weapons and start hacking themselves out.
Okay.
And then we will go to the next round.
Yeah, I didn't figure it to last forever. Oh well.
I rolled a 6.
Anybody got a +2? Ryan and John Tor have got a +1.
Or who's got the worst? I've got a +1 for Karn.
Both Basil and Zofan +1.
All the +1s. One of them should go.
All right, I'll
Go ahead.
It's a 4.
Okay, so we got Zofan, who's got pants, Karn, and Sirican and Felix, and John Tor is shooting an arrow, and Orion. Okay, just try to keep track of everybody. So the Bramble will come over to Felix and attack him as he is broken out, and he comes over with this crude, like rusty weapon. Man, I am rolling hot.
Yep.
That's a hit, but it's only 1 damage
All right.
as he hits you with this like rusty shiv.
1 damage, but now you have tetanus.
Yeah.
No.
The other one will come over to Karn, and that's a
hit.
That's a hit. You take 2 damage.
This guy.
Oh, he doesn't. No, I said a scythe. He's got a sickle, rusted sickle. So as you do that, the Drune, who is, with his staff, steps back, and he starts to. He looks at Zofan and Karn. He steps back and starts to like weave something in the air, and you see these like green bits of flame.
How does he step back? Unless I missed something, he's still entangled.
Ah, you're right. Yeah, he can't step back. So
Yeah, he's part of the orgy now, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah.
that's a good point. Yeah, he is still entangled. So instead of doing that, he's just going to try to hit Zofan, who took his pants.
A reasonable action.
So that's a 17 to hit, 2 damage.
That hits.
Save versus spells.
Fail.
So you take an additional 1 point as he strikes you in your thigh, and your leg starts to burn with this green flame. The one who Felix and Sir Rickon are fighting starts yelling out in some strange, crude language, and he will attempt to strike Sir Rickon with a 13. No, that is not enough to hit him. So he gets hit with the shield, deflects it. And you guys are up.
This guy in the clay mask, I mean, how's he looking? Does he
He looks pretty rough, like he's been depantsed.
Yeah.
But you can see the blood like going down all the way down his leg. Like he looks in rough shape.
Shit. No, not him. Never mind. Karn's gonna go after him. That's a 19 of my own. 7 plus 1 point damage.
All right, tell me how he does.
I go right through that, just straight down and right through that ridiculous mask.
Okay.
Take out the spellcaster.
Yeah, you cut that mask in half, and he can't fall over because he's entangled, so he's just kind of like leaning back unnaturally. The mask kind of falls off his face, and he's got all kinds of scars, and you see like he looks at you for a second. You see those white piercing dots for eyes, and they just kind of go black.
Thus shall all be served that blasphemes Cuthbert. And he shouts out to the guy with the antlers, says, try to take him alive.
Oh, great.
All right.
Questions for this dude.
He's going to try an alternative method to stop, drop, and roll, in which he is going to try and tumble, but not before trying to tackle the bramble that's hacking at him.
Okay.
So let me know what I should roll for that.
So you're going to try to tackle the bramble.
Yeah, since I'm like on fire right now.
Okay, yeah, and try to burn him.
Yeah.
I would say an attack roll, you would probably do damage, but a regular dex roll, you could probably grab him.
Okay, just the dex roll, because I'm mostly trying to like also put out the fire. If I happen to catch him on fire, then so be it.
Okay.
All right. Success.
Okay. Yeah, these guys, like I said, they're not very big. So yeah, you kind of grab and do the roll. Give me a d6. I'd say 4 and 6 chance you put the fire out.
All right, 4.
Okay, yeah, it goes out, but and you have tackled the bramble with the shiv. Nice. All right.
Basil is going to slip on his iron knuckles and attempt to clock the remaining Drune.
Okay,
That might work. That's a 15.
that's a hit.
Nice. That's 7. Yes, 7 damage.
That's a solid hit. Crown of antlers comes flying off, and he just kind of wobbles back. He looks in rough shape.
Let's see if we can't do anything about that. Jontor is going to attempt to arrow him. Damn it. No, that would be a no. And Orion's going to try to contribute from his island using his sling. And another no. Damn it. Oh well. Whiz can't get targets.
All right, I think that's everybody. Did Zofan do anything?
Zofan's going to take his pants, his newly found pants, and he's going to run away. He was invisible, so he's going to back away and then put them on.
Okay. How long does your invisibility last?
Oh shoot, you're right, Copper Willie. That's 1d6 rounds, 5 rounds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was a good roll. So yeah, it's this is the second round that has been active.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it's a new round, and I rolled a 1.
Anybody can do that.
Yep.
Does anybody have a minus? Oh well.
No, I think we've established everybody has +1s.
+1 that.
Okay, fine. Jontor will give it a shot, which is good. He has a +1 because he rolled a 1.
All right.
But
You guys
still.
are up.
Same song, third verse for Jontor. Try to, let's see. Both of the guys are down, right?
No, the Drune guy's still up.
Arnett shouted out to take him alive.
He'll take instruction and aim at one of the bramble thingies.
He doesn't have to do more and says, I was just going to remind you.
13? Is a 13 hit? The bramble thing.
On the brambles, I'm sorry. Yes.
2 damage. Ooh.
What'd you use?
Arrow?
Okay.
Does it work or does it like stick in the...
You notice it
Stick
is
in.
not as effective as you thought.
All right. Orion will attempt to slingshot one of the bramble thingies, and that would be a fail. Not a great time of aiming going around.
Can we try to do subdual damage?
Yeah, you can do some dual damage.
Karn's going to be trying to use the flat of his blade on Antler's boy.
Okay, go ahead.
And I got a 6 + 1, 7.
Okay. No.
Man, Karn's been on fire for a while now.
Yeah.
It's about time for him to return to form.
All right.
Felix, now having tackled the one bramble, is going to try and hack at it with his sword. Like now that he's like on top of it.
Okay, yeah.
Nope, not with a 3.
All right.
Wow, we just can't hit. We just can't do this these days. Oh well.
I will remind Zofan that he did catch on fire.
Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you. And would stop, drop, and roll.
Okay.
Add it out.
Okay. Give me a D6 roll. 1 to 4, it goes out.
4.
Okay, it goes out. You see this strange green flame go running off into the bushes and rolls and then goes out, and then there's nothing there.
Okay, that is bizarre.
Let's see. Karn, Felix, Basil, Bessex.
Basil's going to punch him again.
Okay,
That is a 16.
that's a hit.
And that's another 7 damage.
Tell me how he dies.
Basil he like puts up his one iron knuckle and just lands this blow, and like it hits him like across the jaw, and if you saw the slow motion, it would just see like his cheek kind of like collapse around his fist, and it like hits with such a force that like he's currently rooted in the ground, right, with the brambles. So yeah, it breaks and he like goes flying just like a little bit.
Sir Rickon will attempt to stab the bramble that Felix is fighting. That is a hit. And he realizes it's not as effective. All right. The Bramble will attempt to attack Felix with a 9.
What is the default armor class?
I think it's a 10. I think I had this discussion with somebody. I think it's a 10.
Okay.
Yeah. No armor, 10.
Okay.
Still misses. Let's see. The other Bramble, Zophan's invisible, goes after Karn with a nat 1.
Wow. That's not gonna hit.
It just looks bad. He only embarrasses himself. Both Drune are dead. That's the end of the round.
Yeah.
Next
Thanks,
round.
Baz.
All right. Who's the next?
The Zophan can go.
Okay.
It's a 4.
Okay. You guys go since it is a tie.
Well, Felix is going to try and hack at the Bramble again. This time with a 15. Does that hit?
Yep.
For 7 damage.
So this, you see that sword just kind of like cut right through the Bramble and like you hear all the twigs and the stuff cracking and breaking. Right. That's Felix.
I mean, does it look like these brambles have like something that could be punched
Yeah.
in, like something that like is solid?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like thickly woven.
Okay. So yeah, he just looks at his fist and he's like, oh, just it's like it seemed to work before. And that's an 8, so that's probably a no-go.
Yes.
Imagine he just
All
like
right.
hits it and it just like bounces back.
Yeah. You've got some yellow fungus on your hand.
Oh boy. All right. Well, John Tor has absolutely no reason to close with these things, even if he doesn't do much damage at range. So he's going to aim at 1 and miss again, rolling in the lower half of the 1 to 20 range consistently. And Orion's going to do the same with his sling. And again, it's like, sorry, is what it is.
All right. Karn Stone.
We've got just one Bramble left, right?
Got 2.
Oh, there are 2 left?
Yep.
I guess Focus Fire.
All right.
Can't read that. 9 plus 1 is 10.
Miss. Sir Rickon attacks and misses. Zophan. So you are putting your pants on and hiding in amongst the bushes and the trees and stuff outside the glade. So as you do that, you realize you like look next to you, hear this noise, you look next to you, and crouching down in the bushes, kind of like squatting, is Persimone Ogsbody. And he's got like dirt, like mud on his boots and his mink coat. It's got like dirt and stuff on it, and he looks like he looks very tired. He's sweating a lot, and he like reaches into the pocket of his mink coat and pulls out like a blob of raspberry cake, and he's eating it watching the fight.
What the hell?
Bramble. So there is a Bramble will attack Felix. 19 to hit, 2 damage.
All right.
And then the other one will go after Karn with a 5, misses. Initiative 4.
All righty. Somebody hasn't rolled yet. I've rolled once.
I've rolled both my characters.
I've rolled on it.
Okay.
I'll go.
Orion, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
3 plus 1.
4, you're up.
Well, let's see if we can actually hit sometime. John Doe rolls an 18. Yay! And 4 damage. Of course, one of the shrubby things. Since that's
Yeah,
what's
it's
left.
falling apart. Like the one Felix, there's like 2 arrows sticking in this thing now. It's barely in one piece, clinging to life.
And Orion still can't hit. So,
All right.
Zophan's gonna do is he's going to just intently keep an eye on Persimmon Ogsbody. And if he goes to move or like get away or something, he's gonna try to tackle.
Okay. You get the impression that he's like nervously watching. He's almost like he's a spectator.
Yeah, okay.
Basil Essex.
Basil is going to try to punch the bush again.
Okay.
Maybe this dice. Oh, nice. Well, that'll definitely hit because it's a 19
Yeah, that's a hit.
for 3 damage.
Okay. You realize your fists do not do as much damage as you thought.
Basil's just like, gotta train harder.
If I only had that goat meat.
Can't beat a bramble. I can't beat it.
Karn Stone.
Iron Stone. All right, 3. 1, 4. Does that hit?
No. The Bramble will attack Basil Essex.
Okay.
Takes that rusty sickle and tries to hit him with a 5. It's everybody's just, we're tired. It's been a long combat. Let's call it. Attacking Felix with a nat 20.
Oh,
Oh.
gross.
oh,
Now you could use a hustle point, make me re-roll.
I am going to do that.
Okay. All right.
I've been hit too many times to let that through.
Okay.
Well, hopefully.
All right, so that was a 6, yeah. So thought for a second there he was gonna but he just no. Yeah, Persimmon Ogsbody, it's just he's like stuffing that raspberry cake in his mouth, he eats it, and then he reaches into the pocket of the other one and he pulls out like one of those soft shell turtle rolls, like that's kind of like all crumbly in his hand. He's just stuffing it in his mouth.
What the hell is with this guy? Has he got an eating disorder?
When you get nervous, you do things like some people smoke, he eats. All right, I believe Karn is rolling.
I got a 5 + 1, 6.
You're up. You guys are up. You're fighting 2 Brambles. Felix is wrestling on the ground with this one, trying to fight it, getting all scratched up because he's just wearing a breech clout and a shield, and he looks like some kind of Roman soldier, should I
Get
say.
this whip out of the way real fast.
Well,
Hi,
Gondor's
+1.
gonna-
5
Oh,
plus
okay.
1. Karn seems to be trying to intimidate this one by just missing every time.
Whoa! And miss. Orion's going to attempt to slap one. 14. Is that it?
Yep.
All righty. And this is blunt damage because it's a sling stone if it matters. Ooh! 1 damage. Damn it.
It hits the one Felix is fighting. He kind of hits it and kind of sinks in. It's still alive, just barely moving.
Felix is gonna slash at it again
All right.
for 16.
Yeah. Tell me how it dies. Finally.
He just cuts like a large chunk off the top of it. This thing have like eyes. Oh no, it had arms. And legs.
It has arms and legs. It's got like sort of kind of a face. It has like
Yeah.
yellow fungus on it. It's got these 2 little green pinpoints that you would think were eyes.
So it splashes through the face and one of the arms, and it just is like, I hate being a gardener.
Yes. And it just kind of falls to the ground. Pieces, sticks, and twigs, and it collapses and looks like it. It's part of the natural. You would never realize it was a bramble.
Right.
So there's 1 bramble left that you're fighting.
Well, he's gonna try to punch it, I guess,
All right.
for lack of a better plan. It's a 17,
Yeah.
3 damage.
Yeah. A twig falls off of it. That's everybody. So the 1 bramble. Let me give it a roll here. Okay. Will attack Basil with a 4 and misses, and 5 to start the new round.
Felix will start off since he's got a good bonus. Oh, nope, that was a 3.
Okay.
Wow, we're just not destined to deal with this quickly, are we?
No.
Okay. So frustrated here. The bramble is frustrated. It drops its weapons and tries to attack you with both of its arms, Basil.
Wow.
It's like, oh yeah, I know this game. With a 10, that would be a miss, and with another 10. So it tries to do the same thing. It tries to punch you and misses,
Basil just laughs. You need to train.
and you're up.
Your arms are like twigs.
Literally.
Your arms are twigs. There is no like in this.
How loud do you say that?
Loud enough.
You hear someone chuckle in the bushes. Persimmon Ogsbody starts laughing.
So Orion's going to try to sling stone this thing. Does a 14 hit?
Yes.
2 damage.
Yes.
Okay. And John Tor's going to try to arrow it and still cannot roll in the upper half of the 1 to 20 range.
All right. Okay. Sir Rickon will attack this thing. I don't think that's a miss. Felix.
He will stand up and pick what is left of the shrub and then make his way towards the last one. Can I get over there to attack it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Nope, not with that.
Karn, save us.
Let's see here. Let's try a different die. 17 + 1.
Yeah,
There
that's
we
a
go.
hit. Yeah, you cut right through that thing, and we got a new round. I rolled a 1, so unless somebody has a negative, you guys will be up.
Nope.
I'll roll one of my characters. So the 3.
Okay. All right. You guys are up. You're fighting this bramble who's just hanging on.
Everybody's spoiling.
Basil just wants to retort,
Yep.
to get back at him, show him a real punch. For 11.
That is a miss.
He just starts to grow frustrated.
Felix is gonna give it a slash
Okay.
for 15
That's a hit.
for 7 damage.
Yeah, you cut it and a bunch of it just falls away. Like you realize it's got layers and layers of twigs and vines. It's just like down to like one twisted vine that goes up through the whole body of it.
Nice.
John, Tor, or Ryan, right?
Yeah. Is it still alive?
It's still alive. Yeah.
Hang on.
I'm going to retire this die. I'm going to accept this roll, but this die is no longer rolling this session. That was a miss, in case you didn't figure it out. Let's try the other semi-precious. Semi-precious, my ass. Your rolls aren't precious. 16.
That's a hit. Don't roll 2 damage. Don't roll 1 damage.
3.
Tell me how it dies, thank God.
Okay. So that was Orion with Slingstone. So the Slingstone basically clips out its knee. I mean, just completely blows through it. There's white space there. It looks down at it and then just collapses to the side.
Yes. And from the bushes, you hear a clapping noise. Someone is clapping.
Who's there?
And they get silent.
Karn
Like, oh,
stomps
shit.
over to the clapping noise.
And then peering out of the tree, out of the bushes, you see Persimmon Ogsbody. Oh, well done. Didn't expect to see you here out near this glade, but
I grab him by the back of his neck and drag him out into the open.
what? Karn Stone, what's the meaning of this?
You tell me.
Before Karn would drag him out,
Okay.
it's because Zofan was right next to him. Zofan and was still invisible. Zofan was gonna lean in by his ear and say, he's like, after he said, we didn't expect to see you here. I didn't expect to see you here. And he's like, I've been watching you the whole time. And then Karn like pulls him in just to like give him some extra.
Yeah, he reaches into his pocket and grabs some like frosting from that cake and he said, "Oh, Karn, it's good to see you all. Where's Clintok? Aren't you his?" He looks at the rest of some of this is his retinue. Are you out? You've slain the Drune, I see. Oh boy.
You know the Drune.
What do I know of them? They are strange occult hermits that I don't particularly spend my time dealing with.
Then what are you doing here?
I'm out on a stroll this evening. I'm getting some fresh air, of course.
Right. Not in the teeniest bit suspicious in any way, shape, or form.
You look a little worse for the wear for just being out on a stroll.
Oh, it's
About 2 hours hike away from Prigwort.
Sometimes I get lost in my thoughts. It just happens. My feet moving and I just forget the time. Oh,
Dragging him towards the water, and I say, perhaps you'd also like a swim.
No, that's not good for this goat here. I have to have it professionally cleaned, Stone. And these boots? No, I would pass. I'm not a strong swimmer.
Then you need to start being a little bit more truthful about what you're doing out here.
Well, as you know, after the theft last night, Clintok and his friend are trying to find what was stolen, but I need a replacement, and I was hoping to find that replacement.
What was stolen?
Part of the secret ingredients that make my brew stand out, and was taken during the party. I thought you were questioning the bandits, didn't they? Looks over at the bushes and sees, isn't that one of them there?
That bandit has been released into my custody.
Oh, well, that's good then. Maybe he knows something though. Something was stolen and I don't want to fall behind.
He's been released into my custody and he's paying penance for his crimes, but he has not confessed to have stolen any of those goods. I look over at Jeremiah and say, do you know anything about what was stolen from him?
Is it safe to come out?
What's that?
Safe to come out?
Jeremiah, come out.
Oh, okay, good. He kind of comes back and looks around. No, we didn't steal nothing.
Has confessed to his other crimes, and he's trying to make penance for. But, and I'd let go of the back of his neck, and I dust off his shoulders and say, that's believable enough that you're out here for your things. But why were you watching us fight the Drune?
I was passing through. It was a good time for a break, and why not? Better than I fight them.
This may just be obvious, but should I roll, or is there any, is it so obvious that he's clearly lying
about
like just stopping for a break or passing through? Because it looks like he's been traveling for a while. But he could have just been passing through.
Right.
Is that can I make a wisdom roll to do that, or is it so obvious or it's not worth rolling?
You can make a wisdom roll. I'll let you do that.
Okay. Critical fail. Man, where were those rolls when I was fighting?
It's like, if you use that sleepy water from over there in your brew, it'll make people go to sleep faster. That's no good. Wait a minute. You're not using the sleepy water, are you?
Sleepy water? No. What? No, I don't need them to fall asleep when I need them to drink more.
Oh, right.
That's a preposterous idea.
Orion goes, I need to get off this island now. Oh yeah, okay. Basil, you're strong. Here, let's go help pull Orion off the island. So
okay.
Orion's gonna ask that people pull him as fast as possible so that he, the water doesn't affect him. Hopefully, doesn't have time to affect him as much.
Okay. Is John Tor helping you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ogsbody is there, kind of observing everything. Calms down a little bit. Karn has released him. He's looking at the bodies like, oh boy. He looks over, he sees John Tor, and when John Tor's helping, he starts to look for a minute at John Tor. And then when you finish pulling Orion, and he walks over to you and he says, I didn't notice this before, your necklace. Where did you get such a thing? And he reaches underneath his cloak and pulls out a necklace that has the same charm on it that you have.
Oh, man. I don't know. I woke up with it after a good binge, man. But I was so happy when I found out it was a brewery necklace. That's fantastic. I want to collect them all. Of course.
That's no brewery necklace.
But it's got your brewery on it. How is it not a brewery necklace?
No. You don't remember anything?
No.
Then how did you end up with two?
Oh, one of my friends here woke up with one also, and he didn't like it. I thought it was great, so I figured I'd, start working on my collection.
Oh.
So wait a minute, if it's not a brewery necklace, what is it?
And as he's talking to you, he says, you're about to find out. He points behind you, and in the bushes and the trees, a doorway appears that sort of like flickers and glimmers with like pixie dust. He says,
Oh.
Just what I was looking for. I guess we should go. And then he kind of moves past you guys and hurriedly heads towards this, looks like a magical doorway. And he looks at you, John Tor, and he says, obviously you've been here before. And he shows you his necklace. He's like, I guess you can all come. You're probably welcome.
Can we come back here? I don't have any pants. So
I don't think that's a problem.
all right, I guess if whoever's on the other side doesn't mind pants company.
There's one of the bodies still has pantaloons, Felix.
Oh, yeah, and we're taking that damn staff. That damn staff is something.
Yeah, we need to loot the bodies for sure.
Okay. All right.
Stand by just a moment. We've got to see if there's any clues here.
Secondhand pants.
To each their own.
John Tor's like, oh, man, I've woken up without pants before. Trust me, anything's better than nothing when you're walking through the city. By the way, who got hurt? Was it Felix who got hurt?
Yeah, Felix is down.
6 back.
Nice.
How far down is he?
Now with 6 back, he is only down 2.
Karn's down too, but he's going to wait till the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just didn't want him walking around heavily wounded to start out with. So
Absolutely. You can do a lot more healing than Karn can now at this point.
no, I've only got 1 spell a day.
Okay. I think Karn's got, 8 points he can heal a day?
The spell is the first level clerical one, Cost me a 2nd level spot to get a D6 plus 1 healing. But, with this crowd, we need it badly.
Yeah.
Ogsbody is just kind of like, yeah. And he steps through what looks like some kind of magical doorway and sort of vanishes. Do the rest of you like grab the stuff and then go in?
Yeah. Basil's gonna recover the rock, the Percival rock.
Okay, good.
Again, the bard's like, I saw Call to Adventure. That one's a pretty obvious one.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with him. But Karn was looking for any clues about the Drune, looking to see if they've got anything written down on them or
Okay.
anything at all. Just any
All
kind
right. Okay. I'll check that.
of
As soon as you step into this portal, you're in a hallway that is lit by these bright yellow flames that are on sconces. It's a long hallway, and standing on either side are these soldiers in gold plate mail, standing with swords, and next to them are wolves that sort of have a shimmering look to them, like sitting like right next to them, and they stand like this. And you can see Ogsbody kind of like walking down the hallway towards this entrance, and these soldiers and these wolves don't move at all. They just kind of sit there, and you make your way all the way up to this doorway. And Ogsbody just kind of stands there, and he takes his necklace off and holds it in his hand, and he kind of puts it up to the door. And when he does that, the door kind of glows and begins to open, and you hear like trumpets begin to play. And he turns back to you and he says, "We're about to beat the Earl of Yellow. Be on your best." and we'll take a break right there.
Earl of Yellow. Wow. Okay. Weird shit going on.
The door opens and you're hit with this light. Like the hallway was fairly bright, but this is even brighter. It's like, oh my God. And Ogsbody begins to walk in. You hear trumpets, a cacophony of trumpets playing. And as you walk in, it's like a hallway, but not a hallway, like an auditorium that goes up, and there's, I don't know, is it like 100 rows? And you see all these elves in very flamboyant outfits and hats. I like the Robin Hood hat with the feather, and they're all playing. They all have trumpets and they're all playing, and the noise is just like echoing. And it looks like it goes up for like 100, like it curls in a very odd way that you would not expect a room to go. And they're all playing. And ahead of you on this, like, it looks like stone that's got like flecks of gold all over it, and it kind of shimmers on the ground. Ahead of you, walking in what was the name of that? Gambeson with that symbol on is a satyr with his horn. He's got shimmering ivory horns. He stands about 6 feet tall with a radiant gold mane, and he just comes strutting up as the music is playing. And he takes one look at Ogsbody as Ogsbody's just like kneels before him, and he's like, "What is the meaning of this?" And Ogsbody, he kind of just passes right by him. When he snaps his fingers, he says, "Take care of him." And like out of these doors open out of nowhere, and these elves come running out and grab Ogsbody and start stripping his clothes off. And he's like, "You need to wash. This is filthy." They start grabbing his clothes, and then they start wheeling out like this big tank that has a platform on it.
Like a dunk tank?
Yes. And they start ushering up, and he goes and sits on the top, and Ogsbody looks like, "What's going on?" And they throw the clothes on there, and he looks at the rest of you, and he's like, "Who wants to give it a whirl?" And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a glowing yellow ball.
Basil immediately. He's like, ball me.
All right, give me a to hit roll.
This one. Oh, that's a 2. So probably not.
He kind of
Unless
looks at you.
Unless this was a strength check.
No.
Then that would be great.
Yeah, the ball bounces off the wall, like bounces around a couple times and comes back to him.
I need to warm up. No, that was a warm-up shot.
He steps back and looks at the one arm and then the other arm, and he's like, "Warm up then, warm up. Who's next?"
Orion will give it a shot. Do we all take turns? Or is this a command performance? 18.
Yeah, that's a direct hit. You hit the little lever, and Ogsbody kind of looks, he's like, and he goes right into this water, and it bubbles kind of like soda water. Like it's got all these bubbles in it, and he's like flailing around in the water. "Well done. Welcome to my court."
Thank you for having us here.
Is everything around us yellow? Does this continue the theme?
Yes, everything is
Or
sort of
not.
everything is kind of has some sort of yellow in it.
Zofan, pleasure to meet you.
Oh, yes. He looks down at those, you're wearing those Drune pants, and he's like,
I am.
"Oh, an unsightly sight that is."
Do you have other pants I could wear? I took these after mine were taken.
And the elves come running over and grab you and start hauling you over to the dunk tank. They get Ogsbody out. He comes out soaking wet, and they give him his clothes, and he's like putting his clothes back on, and they take you up and they put you on the platform.
I assure you, this isn't necessary. If you just
It's very necessary.
give me some new pants.
You will have them, I assure you. Who's next? And the ball appears in his hand. Come on. He looks at John Toy, says, "L'Oreal is turning down the opportunity."
You know my family. That's so cool. Nobody knows the elven lineages around here. That's fantastic. Yeah, sure. I'll 12.
All right, that hits. And Zofan, you are dunked into this water. It feels like really warm and refreshing, effervescent. Give me a D6. Give me a D6 roll.
That's a 6.
Okay. You see, so the elves come running over and they fish you out of the water. And the pants you're wearing now are like shimmering gold, and they like give off this weird prism effect.
Oh, Zofan is into that. What's it made out of?
What do you want it to be made out of?
Well, leather.
Oh,
Okay, they're leather then.
It's got leather, buckskin, shimmering pants.
That's more appropriate, I would say.
This is fantastic. So can you describe them again? Sorry, I didn't get it in my notes.
They're like shimmering gold leather, and they give off like a prism. Like, you know, when the light hits it, also it kind of gives off like a prism effect, like a bunch, you know, it shoots a bunch of different colors on the ground and stuff. Like when you shoot light through a prism.
Yeah, this is extravagant. You did not disappoint, Earl of Yellow.
I never disappoint. And he walks over to Felix and he says, 7 steps at dawn.
My name precedes me.
You are next. And the elves come out and grab you and start pulling you towards the dunk tank.
He doesn't buy that.
Okay. And he takes the ball. Who's next?
I mean, I will go again after I had my warm up in. If no one else wants to dunk our friend.
Orion goes, "Oh, I had my turn. Sure, go ahead."
12.
Okay, that is definitely a hit. And Felix goes whoosh into the water. Felix, you go into the water again. It's like bubbly. It's not, you know, effervescent. And the other elves are like around the little platform. They're kind of like hoisting you up. Give me a D6 roll.
2.
The scar, like you were like badly burned, right?
I have so many burn scars from massive amounts of electric.
So when they pull you out of the water, you notice that Felix's scars from his burns are like gone, and they look kind of have like a gold glint to them, and they sort of phase in and out.
Oh.
And the elves kind of pull you out of the water, and Zofan would realize this once he had like stepped off the platform. He's instantly dry. And then the elves come out carrying all your equipment. Your armor is like been polished and everything. They kind of present you with all your stuff.
Nice.
Oh,
Arn raises an eyebrow at that because he's been standing there the whole time being very disapproving.
Oh yeah.
He like graciously like bows, kneels down, and then like gets back up and takes all.
Yeah, he before you even get to do that, he bows first.
Oh.
Of course. We had quite an evening the other night. You don't remember, of course, but it was fantastic. I thank you. Anyone who draws their blade and represents Lord Three Moons Waxing deserves some credit.
Why, thank you.
John Tor gets the clue that maybe he didn't actually know his house ahead of time, and he was carousing. But, you know, better not to say, "I don't remember your shit," to somebody who's obviously eccentric.
He walks over to Felix and hands you something he drops another necklace with the symbol on it, and he says, "Sometimes it's best to keep gifts that are given."
My apologies. And he puts it back on.
And Ogsbody is like standing there like, what about me?
Did he get dunked?
Ogsbody did, yeah. And
Yeah.
everything he was wearing, he comes out, his clothes are like glistening clean. And you see that the chains he's wearing, like I said, like he had that mink coat with those weird chains. They're
Yeah.
kind of moving on their own.
Wow.
So if you accompanied the dear Persimmon to meet me, as he looks at the rest of you, and Ogsbody goes to speak, and he just puts up his hand, and he's like,
Ooh.
We have. Rather, Persimmon accompanied us, for we ran into some trouble with the Drune outside of your gate here, and he was eating cake while we were doing all the hard work of actually dispatching them.
Ooh. Oh. Throw him
Speaking
under
of-
the bus.
speaking of, hey, he looks at Karn, smiles.
Did you say cake?
Would you like some, Karn, Stone? I've heard so much about you.
Apparently, you know I like cake, but in a small amount. Moderation, of course. And if you've heard about me, surely you've heard about Cuthbert.
Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, yes, he did.
One of the saints, I suppose. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. You walk his path.
Walk his path.
You follow the word and the teachings of Cuthbert.
I have seen Cuthbert's word.
Oh.
I have
no.
read Cuthbert's word. I have met many of his offspring. Many
offspring?
of his offspring.
I think perhaps we speak of a different Cuthbert.
Oh, no. Square pegs and round holes. That wasn't just the euphemism, Carnstone.
Card's taken aback. He really doesn't know how to react to this.
You see, like 4 elves come out holding a tray with a cake that looks like a pyramid.
Oh, wow.
And they take it and they put it and they set it on top of the dunk tank. There's your cake, Carnstone.
You better get it, Karen. I mean, it's not good for your training, but you know, today could be a cheat day.
Well, of course, one small sliver in moderation, of course.
What small sliver in moderation, great.
He goes up to the cake. He pulls out, a knife of some sort.
Oh, you got to climb up on it to get to it.
He climbs up there.
Okay, as he's
He
doing that,
carves
the
out a
Earl of
thin
Yellow
sliver
walks
of paper.
over to Felix and kind of slyly hands him the ball and says, "Go when he gets up there."
Karn cuts a small sliver off the cake, nice proportion amount, starts to eat it, puts it up to his mouth.
Felix waits for the opportune time
Yes.
Wonderful cake.
with a 19.
Yes, and Karn goes into the dunk tank with the cake. Oh, and the trumpets blare, and the Earl of Yellow laughs, and the elves begin to like fish you out of the bubbly water.
Doesn't set me on fire.
No, it doesn't set you on fire.
Okay. Hey, what? You said cake.
Oh, I did, didn't I? And you realize when you come out of the water, you have that little knife that you cut, and one of the elves comes walking over to you, and he has a piece of cauliflower, and he says, cut the cauliflower.
And he acquiesces. He cuts it.
He cuts the cauliflower and instantly turns to a piece of cake.
There we go. Well, you seem to have a sense of humor, at least.
What, you do not like cake?
I love cake.
You shall enjoy this gift.
Does he enjoy it? Is it good cake?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan's like, that looks fun. Can I give it a go?
Oh, of course. Yes, I've heard so much about you as well.
Win and ferry. Enjoy the ferry. So yeah, Orion will climb up onto the dunk tank and look around and see who in the party wants to have a go at him.
Basil is always bristling. Like, this is the sort of raucous fun that he lives for.
All right.
It's a natural one. Imagine a very just kind of limp throw.
You throw it like it's so far off the mark. It hits one of the trumpet players in like the fourth row, and you hear him go, ah! Falls to the ground, crashes to the floor. The ball appears in his hand, and he hands it to you again. Throw it with your other arm.
But I don't train with this one.
Precisely.
That's the 13 on the die.
Yeah, that's a hit. Orion goes into the water.
Basil
Cool.
kind of looks astonished at the dexterity of his other arm.
Orion, you hit the water, and the elves fish you out.
Okay.
And instantly, you remember everything from Fairy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I did. I kissed the. Oh shit! There.
And you liked it.
Wait a minute. I did it again. Oh God, the stench is never going to come out.
Who hasn't gone?
That would be John Tor for one.
Basil hasn't gone either.
All right.
John Tor will rush up, step up to the plate, as it were.
Okay.
And Orion looks around and goes, well, unless anybody else wants to, I think I'll take this shot. 15.
Yeah, you nail it. And he plunges
couldn't I
into
hit?
the water.
Why couldn't I hit in a fight when it mattered more? So effervescent, fun, immediate, dry.
Yeah, everything, like your clothes are instantly clean and dry. Like they went through like a dry cleaner.
Oh man, I'm so happy. This mercenary shit is sort of fun sometimes, but it gets you dirty. Stupid question. I know you're handing out different things, but John Tor lost memories from Fairy too, except his were on the trek through the cold.
Okay.
Does he get his back or does he get something else?
I was thinking something else.
Okay. Obviously completely up to you. Just curious.
Basil Bessex.
Yeah, he saunters up after having successfully dunked his comrades and kind of gives kind of like a boyish grin as he like sits on the platform and kind of wiggling around.
All right. The Earl of Yellow holds the ball in his hand. He looks around. Well,
Karn grabs it. He gives it a throw.
Yay! Have a go, Karn. That's the spirit. When in Fairy, do as Fairy does.
Remember the die I kept messing with?
yeah.
Nat 20.
Wow.
Clearly didn't want to miss this opportunity.
I'm
Wow.
slacking away fighting for my life 4 times in a row. It gives me sub 9.
All right, so Basil gets dropped. Same deal. He falls in there. When you come back out, you notice something. Well, I don't know. Would you notice instantly? Everybody else notices that before you had one huge arm, both arms are the same size.
Wow.
Oh.
He probably just wouldn't notice for a little bit. Like he'd walk around, like, I feel the same. And then he'd like go to like scratch himself and be like, wait a minute. And he turns, he's like, what kind of dark magic is this? All gains with no training? I worked so hard on the right arm, but I had to do no work on the left.
Whoa, what do you mean? You threw the ball and struck the thing.
He's just kind of, he's like, it's just not the same.
Are you sure?
I will not deny a gift from the Earl of Yellow.
I won't be offended.
Just give me some time.
So as you get out there, he puts his hand on your shoulder. He says, is that enough time? Very well, back to the tank with you. And the elves come back out and start grabbing you, taking you back to the tank.
Back to the tank you go.
They hoist you back up there, and the ball appears in his hand. Well, and he just says, fine, and he throws it and misses spectacularly. He looks to make sure, to see if anybody else notices, and he's like, okay, you didn't see that. Who's next?
I'll throw it. He goes, the Zofan steps up to hurl it, and it's an 11. Actually, no,
It
12.
hits it, and then it back into the water.
Trying to stay afloat.
They pull you out. Give me save versus spells.
Okay.
Ooh.
This one's got to be high. That's a nat 1. It's just really hot or cold today.
Yeah, when you get out of the dunk tank and look at those arms and you realize, you think, yeah, I've been training both of these my whole life. I don't know what the big deal is. I feel fresh and clean now.
Wow, all that pre-workout's really paying off for the actual workout. I'm gonna enter both of these guns into the gun show.
So that's more like it.
He just kind of saunters back. Finally, what I'd been deserving this whole time, 2 massive meaty appendages. I'm gonna have to get another iron knuckle. For some reason, I only have 1.
If you reach into your pocket, you have a second one,
Oh.
a matching pair. So you see one of the elves come walking over with like a gold sack with purple trim and hands it to Ogsbody. He's like, oh, he looks inside. He's, oh, thank you. Yes, Ogsbody. Yes. And he like goes to like, Ogsbody's like, goes to tell him some stuff. Look, I don't want you to completely ruin this beautiful occasion with my new friends here.
Oh boy.
He says, but something I don't want to know. Well, now that we are all fresh and clean and fit, what shall we do?
Do you have any goat jerky?
Now that's a request I haven't heard in a long time.
It's good. He says it's good for his training.
And he he kind of gives him another like a look up and down since he's a satyr and realizes that he's like maybe part goat. And he's like,
So one of the elves comes out, like a doorway opens and starts parading forth a goat that looks golden. Did you say a goat named Jerky? Here he is.
that'll work. The golden goat. Well, I think we should have a feast.
Well, Karn has gotten his cake. I don't think he needs much else, does he?
It dawns on me that Karn probably shouldn't have been eaten in Fairy, but you know.
Minor little issue. Nothing significant.
Yeah.
How did Ogsbody come to make your acquaintance?
Oh, well, we've known each other for quite some time. I particularly enjoy Prigwort, and this area here that you are in is sort of one of my domains.
We're in Prigwort now?
No, you're not. It's part of what I call the Yellow Wood.
Yellow Wood. Do you have any of those more of those pesky Drune here?
Not in Fairy.
What are they?
They are brutish creatures.
Clearly.
Unfortunately, that was necessary to keep the Cold Prince away.
Who introduced them? You make it sound as if they were brought in.
No, they've been here a long time. There was a compact that was made. Drune was part of it to use their magic to keep the Cold Prince away.
Is that why they have that spirit locked up in that pond?
I don't think so. I think it is for other reasons that I certainly don't understand.
Oh, you see, she was asking to be freed.
Well, if I was in a pond, I would probably ask to be freed as well.
I was thinking about freeing her. Would this upset you?
Why would it upset me? It's none of my concern.
Wouldn't do anything to let the Cold Prince in or anything like that?
No.
Oh, very well. So you haven't heard the staff of the apostle either?
No.
Well, shucks.
There's an answer.
Can't curse.
Sure he can.
What is the gift that you give Ogsbody? As he kind of looks over towards him, like kind of glances towards Ogsbody. Persimmon was able to see everything that we have attained, or that you've given us.
He looks at Ogsbody. I give them items from Fairy that they obviously can't find in the mortal world, which they use in their concoctions.
Oh, wow. You use fairy ingredients in your beer? That's so metal. Never mind that's incredibly stupid. John Tor loves it.
So he's using, okay.
Too bad Clintok isn't here. He would be jumping all over that information.
Oh, totally.
Karn is putting two and two together in his head, says, so if he has to come here for his ingredients, then he was walking in the woods when we ran into the Drune for other reasons.
Well, you encountered the Drune because obviously they have different areas or shrines or strange obelisks that they protect.
It just seemed kind of strange that Ogsbody was there when we ran into the Drune.
Yes, of course. The session was moving a bit slow. We had to spice things up a bit.
Okay.
So, have you tried any of the other beverages or the concoctions from around Prigwort, or have you only sampled from the larder of Ogsbody?
What do you mean?
There are several houses that brew.
Oh, yes, 7, in fact, that I
Yes.
know quite intimately.
Oh boy, that is an interesting hint.
Do any of the other houses come to pay a visit from time to time?
Oh, maybe on occasion I've seen him once or twice or 3 times. He smiles.
And
Clintok's ears are really burning, I can tell.
Zofan just kind of smiles. Of course. So are there earls of other colors? Is there a Duke of Green or
No, how outrageous would that be?
a Viscount of Violet?
Okay, that was a good one.
The Prince of Purple.
You have a lovely establishment here. I quite enjoyed your court.
Yes, so this is just a small annex. It'll do for this particular meeting.
If we were to meet you again at some point in the future, how would we find you?
Well, I choose to appear when I wish. Sometimes I come to Prigwort. Sometimes I let Prigwort come to me.
Fair enough.
Question, how do you know Lord Three Moons Waxing?
Oh, we go back way, way, way back. I didn't believe the things that were said against him. I thought he was unjustly vanquished.
Well, he has my blade for the time.
Aware of that.
If I see him before you, should I give him any sort of message?
Oh, well, he's always welcome as he kind of points to the dunk tank.
I will let him know.
He's always welcome to come go for a swim.
He walks over to John Tor and he puts his arm around you and he says, "What do you think this golden goat eats?" The Earl of Yellow hunches down against the goat and he listens. He's like, "I believe he favors summer squash." Now, close your eyes and think about summer squash. And a
Sure,
summer
John
squash appears in your hand and the goat just comes over and starts eating it.
Oh, wow. I guess they eat anything. I've heard that some places that brew put the, expended hops and grain out for animal feed. I wonder what that's like.
He walks over to, well, I already know what Carnes is. He walks over to Felix. Felix, what's your favorite treat?
Too simple to say an enemy vanquished. Maybe a nice seared sea bass.
Sea bass. He looks over at John Tor. Give this man a seared sea bass.
Okay. John Tor closes his eyes and imagines a sea bass in his hand.
And it appears in your hand.
Oh, here
It's a
you
little
go.
bit hot and it's like,
Oh.
Didn't even have to gut it myself.
so the Earl of Yellow has given you the ability, it's called conjure treats, but so basically you can conjure a mortal or animal's favorite treat out of thin air. You can do it once per day per subject.
Okay, but that's not unuseful if you're hungry and not carrying any rations.
It's a fairy ability. It's not conjure edibles or conjure good meal. It's conjure treats. I'm sure it's going treats no matter what, whether you need them or want them or not.
I mean, it seems like John Tor now has an easy in for basically any character in the game.
If the treat is offered to the mortal or animal, their disposition toward the caster is improved. Well, you don't have to state that, of course.
Yeah.
Here you go. Would you like some Girl Scout cookies?
Think about how easy it would be to bribe guards.
These taste like my grandma's cookies. These are my grandma's cookies. How did you know?
Literally.
Okay. Fortunately or unfortunately, John Tor isn't exactly a manipulative bastard. Otherwise, he could indeed come up with some interesting uses for this.
Pulls Jeremiah off to the side and starts teaching him how to polish his armor. He's trying to get a reaction. See if this guy's because this guy's all about the party, right?
Well, I mean, it's not like a raucous party's going on. The only thing you've
Okay.
seen is trumpets playing
Okay.
and him with a dunk tank.
Yeah, Karn's a little lost in a Fae place. That's all I'm thinking.
So, anything else you need? Desires, wants, questions, answers?
Wants, questions. Where were you when I needed plate armor? Couldn't find any. Now you show up and I've got cake. It was very good cake. Thank you very much.
An elf comes walking over with a plate. It looks like a loaf of bread.
Okay.
He says, there you go. You still have the knife.
What is this?
Well, cut the loaf.
He cuts the loaf.
it turns into a piece of cake.
Oh God, I'm afraid I have to watch my waistline. If I eat too much, I won't be able to fit into my armor.
Wonder what Cuthbert would say about that.
I'm sure he would be very upset with me.
Or he could just get more cake.
That is not the path of Cuthbert.
What is the path of Cuthbert?
He begins to tell him in great detail.
And his whole fan just kind of like, just kind of like shakes his eyes like, oh no, he walked into it.
I think I was on Psalm 38. There's only 1,500. Come, we shall pass the time quickly tonight.
Yeah, a couple of the trumpet players come over and stand next to you and start playing and drown you out.
Basil will ask, can I, if it's inconsequential to you, can I have my iron knuckles be made fabulous? I want them to look pretty when I bash people's heads in.
Oh,
Something like gold, something in honor of your yellowness.
All right, give me a d6 roll.
5.
Okay. He ushers an elf come over. Punch him in the face.
Okay. He just punches. He's a punch first, ask questions later kind of guy.
Punch him in the face.
So you nail this guy and he hits the ground. His eyes roll back. He looks like deader than a doorknob. And his whole face, wherever you hit him, just turns to like yellow sparkles, like starts coming off his face.
Oh, that's even better.
And then a couple of other elves run over and grab him and drag him away.
So like, is like yellow sparkles like in the air or like
like
or
on
it's
the
glitter,
like
like a glitter where
coming off. Yeah.
Okay, that's a neat trick. Is that going to do that every time he punches somebody?
I hope so.
That's if you kill someone.
But Basil doesn't know that yet.
Right.
He doesn't realize it. Doesn't necessarily realize he just killed one of the elves.
tough party.
Right? You go to the party and get killed by some guy with big arms and brass knuckles?
That would be a party trick.
Party trick. Did it feel like you were able to like punch harder because of that?
It felt the same to me, but more fabulous.
More fabulous.
The trumpets stop playing for a second, and our fun here has been had. I think it's time for y'all to return to whence you've been. I sense another guest approaching.
Oh, we can't all be here at the same time?
No, I only like to entertain a certain amount.
This sounds fair. I did get some clean armor, made a new friend, somebody who actually heard of Cuthbert.
And your
Yes.
company has been more than fair.
For Felix, wherever you see his skin, it kind of like phases in and out, almost like it's there and then not there. So yeah, the trumpets begin to play, and Ogsbody's like so relieved to get out of here because it's like this place is really weird. And he's holding his little bag, and the door again opens, and he's just, the Earl is just waving to you. And you start passing down this hallway in a big line, and coming up the other way to enter is a strange, let's see, none of you have met him. So that's right. So he's a kind of a little squirrely fella. He looks like he's been up for like 5 days straight. He's got bags under his eyes. Oh yeah, he's wearing, of course, something I gotta freaking remember how to pronounce. Like, oh yeah, see, I've got it right here. He's wearing a houppelande. It's like a long
What?
cloak with the sleeves are, really.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like it's eel skinned, and he's carrying what looks like a ledger book in his hand, quickly making his way, like looking at you guys like, hey, hi, yeah, hi, hey. He looks really nervous, and he sees that door opening. It's like getting to close it. He just starts running, and all you hear as the door closes, to the dunk tank with you. All right. So you guys walk through, and as you're walking through the door, you give me a save versus spell to see if you remember any of this, except for Orion, you automatically pass.
Oh,
All right, we got to get over our number, right? Okay. I was so happy last time when I got under my number and turned into a goat. I forgot it was supposed to be over, not under, and I was like, oh yeah, I got it. No, I turned into a goat. Oh, that is not
Well,
a
damn.
20 either.
well, we continue the pattern of not in combat because Jontor rolled a nat 20. He is
Yeah.
going to remember this for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I got a 19.
Okay.
Felix said.
Man, I was hoping to remember it, but no, I didn't.
But do you still have both arms?
Still have both arms, and now he will be surprised that whenever he deals a killing blow, like the sparkles, like freak him out every time.
Why is it so sparkly?
Are people made of sparkles now?
You guys all come back out. The sun is beginning to rise. You find yourselves at the Clashed Antler. Like you walk through, and then you're like in your cottage that you have rented with Clintok and Basil Wilberforce there.
That saved us a little travel time.
And
So Zofan failed Actually, Zofan failed, but I did not roll for Basil.
Okay.
Basil made it.
Nice.
Zofan will not know where he got his fabulous pants,
Yes.
but he isn't going to complain about that.
All right. So yes, it is the next. So basically you realize it's the next day.
That was really good cake, but I'm not sure it was worth losing track of a day.
You still have that knife, don't you?
I pull out the knife
Yeah.
and go looking for a loaf of bread.
I was going to say the knife that turns things into cake.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a half-eaten loaf of bread there
I
in
go
the
to
room.
slice off a piece of bread.
Yep. It turns into cake. It turns into white cake with white icing.
Oh, not your raspberry.
He shall become known as Karn the Great, the Karn of great size.
Aren't of great size. Right.
I mean, there's so many possibilities. I mean, you could destroy a whole dinner by just turning
Right.
all the cake, death by 1,000 tiny butter knife cuts.
Walk up to the enemy with a tiny butter knife and say, "I'm gonna cut you." And when they laugh at you, you cut them and you turn them into a piece of cake.
That would be a hell of a power.
What we're talking about? Where did I get these pants? Last I remember, I wasn't wearing any.
Oh, Orion goes, well, it's more fairy stuff. This time the guy was definitely one of the better ones. He gave you a pair of pants. What's your favorite food, by the way?
Does it matter?
Oh, it's about food. What's your favorite food?
Oh, I'm partial to meat pies.
All right. Poof. What? It's hot. It's hot. Contour will lift up his tunic and drop it in there to keep from burning his hands.
He just raises his eyebrow.
Some people get fabulous pants. Some people get fabulous powers.
And he looks down at his pants and like, well, I'm not complaining.
Knowing the fairy, there's something else going on there. So yeah.
Well, it sounds like I missed quite a bit.
It sounds like it might be time for you to think about taking the straight and narrow path in life, not drinking so much so you don't forget about such wonderful adventures.
Oh, did your squire remember what happened?
I don't know. Let's see if he does remember what happens. I rolled a 4, so I'm pretty sure he doesn't remember a damn thing.
Yeah. There's a knock at the cottage door.
We'll answer.
You open the door. Sir Rickon is standing there. Oh, you're
Oh,
safe.
did we leave?
I waited for as long as I could, and then I came back to whose golden goat is out here? Is this one of yours?
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
mine. It's Jerky.
His name is Jerky.
Whatever you want to name it.
Well, I didn't choose the name. It chose the name.
Do you have any plans on attending meeting Lady Harrimore?
Clintok pipes up. I think we should take a visit to the lady. I got some news for her. She might be.
Yeah, I think we've wrapped up everything in town. Hey, Clintok, what have you been doing? All of us had an excursion in a ferry. Have you had an interesting time in town?
I was working on some business opportunities.
Okay, do we need to flee before the owners come
Oh,
looking
no,
for
no,
their
no, 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 no. All on the up and up, I assure you.
Okay, just, no judgment. We just need to know when the getting is good. That's all.
Don't worry. Once we talk to the Lady Harrimore, I will explain it all again to her.
We'll probably have to make a trip back here.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be.
But it sounds like we need to go see the Lady Harrimore. Karn here always talks about not staying out and drinking and losing track of time, and yet he just goes and disappears with the rest of them for a whole night. Shows up in the morning, acts like there's nothing wrong.
That is out of character for you, Karn.
Drinking all night, says the one who can't remember what he did last night.
I remember what I did.
So Sir Rickon will send a message to Lady Harrimore that you guys will come up to the keep tonight. He will obviously escort you there if if that's what you want to do tonight. You have the rest of today to do whatever. It's kind of cool and gloomy out. If there's anything else you want to do in town, I know that part of Clintok's plan, he was supposed to go over to the tailor and get an appointment for Master Peabody, I believe.
Yeah.
And deliver Ogsbody. Or no, you're just going to deliver the drafts, which I was assuming you probably would have done. Ogsbody would have gotten it. I didn't know
I'm making a visit back to Wolfriend to see if she made a decision.
Okay, give me a 2d6 roll.
Yep.
Add your charisma.
So a total of 11.
Yeah. When you go to meet with her, she says she has decided that this is an opportunity she can't pass up, and that she is willing to give you at least one vote on the council and appreciates your opportunity, and is excited to see what comes next.
Okay. I'll bid you adieu. But where's the little one before I go?
Oh yes, the blonde-headed girl comes out.
I will be looking around, and I will attempt to palm a gold coin into her pocket
Okay.
All right, I made the dex check. I assume it's
Okay. Yeah.
and I'll be like, I feel like maybe, just maybe, you look like you're a little weighed down on the left side. You have something heavy in your pocket?
It's like, no, I don't. What do you mean?
Just reach into your pocket.
And she's like, oh, she pulls out the gold coin. What? She looks at her mother, and her mother looks at you and smiles.
Those must be magic pounds.
Yes.
And then he's just like leaves, just like bows and then walks out of the house.
All right.
And then I will go visit the tailor.
Okay. So obviously the tailor won't be in.
Yeah, so I would go to the
Doorman.
doorman.
Okay.
Is our friend the tailor around?
Oh, Lord Clintok. Yes. Is there a message I need to pass on?
Oh, I mean, yes, if you don't mind, but I'm happy to do it myself. Just let me know.
Oh, I will pass the message on to.
Oh, just tell him that he has an appointment that I will be paying for. He can bill me later. Here's a retainer, and I will give him like 20 gold pieces.
Okay.
And the client has free will to purchase whatever he'd like.
Oh, okay. And is you setting up an appointment for this?
Yes, Master Peabody from House Oberon.
Oh, Master Peabody. Very good. I will pass that along.
And then I will also give him a gold piece as well.
Thank you. You have a good day, Lord Clintok, despite
It's
this weather.
Wow, the days just keep getting better.
Anything else anybody wants to do the rest of the day?
Basil's probably been paying attention around town to see if he can notice any signs, any secret markings or anything like that about hoping to see if there's a thieves guild in town.
Looking for a thieves guild. Interesting. Give me a D6 roll.
4.
There's not one that is obvious to you, if there is.
So he tries to find some crowded parts of town and starts watching the crowds and see if he can notice anybody picking pockets kind of thing. Can he catch anybody?
I mean, you're setting out, I would say that.
Like go to the local pub and sit outside with a brew in his hand and just watch passersby and see who's.
Yeah, I would say Basil probably knows where to go and where to be looking. You go over to Earl's Court, which has got the fountain, which you stash the evidence, and it's got the painted statue of a portly, regally dressed gentleman raising the goblet, the one who's got the same as the Earl of Yellow. And there's some people doing entertainment, like they're doing like the stick fig. They got the stick figures. They're doing like a puppet show, and people are kind of watching. Thank you. Marionettes. And you notice that somebody is in the crowd watching, and then, as people are distracted, they're kind of reaching their hand in and slipping a coin out or whatever they can find.
He waits until opportune time to walk up and try to place himself and act like he's a rube.
Okay.
And tries to leave his pouch a little bit open, but he's keeping his eye on it and watching it carefully. Entice them into picking his pocket, but he wants to try to catch them trying to pick his pocket.
Okay. Are you enticing them with something that'd be worth picking?
He's got an empty pouch that he keeps on his waist as well as a regular pouch, right? What is he got that he's carrying? Oh, before he goes over there, he pulls out a couple of gems and he comes walking up to the thing and he's eyeballing them kind of openly and so on.
Okay.
And then he shoves them into that empty pouch. There's nothing else in there, but he keeps that in case he's got to gets a hold of something that he can put in there, and puts it in there and acts like, oh, look, a marionette show. Let me stop and watch this for a minute.
Okay. So yeah, they notice that. They kind of sidle up next to you, and they will try to pick that when they think you're not looking.
Right. And I'm always looking, but I'm trying to look like I'm not looking. And whenever they try, if I can manage it, I'll put my hand on theirs.
Okay. Yeah, you do that.
Okay. And I say, the thieves can't kind of way of communicating.
Right.
I'm going to pass along to him, not today, friend, but maybe we could go and talk and I can give you something worth your while.
And they look at you and say, are you asking me on a date?
Well, I'm not sure if you're my type, but I am buying.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Let's go over here and we'll find out what you like to drink. I'm just looking for a little bit of information, something that somebody else might be able to help me find. I'm a stranger here,
What do they say? What does the captain of the guard say? Stranger danger?
But we're not strangers anymore because my name is Basil.
Well, I'm Bethel.
You're Bethel. See, we're not strangers. There's no dangers. Let's go have a drink.
You realize it is a she. She's got her hair like tucked under like a cloth, like a hat toboggan, and her dark black cloak, and she walks over to one of the beer servers and gets you guys two barrow blasters.
Arrow blasters.
Yep.
I tip a full gold to the server.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, she paid for it, but yeah, you can tip her if you want.
Oh, she paid?
Yeah, she went over and pulled some money out of her pocket. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Maybe this is a date. I'm
Yeah.
new here in town. I'm trying to find, well, what I was really after was an apprentice of sorts, but I can't find a guild in town.
It's not much of a guild.
Really? Well, I noticed that you're working. How do you like the type of work that you're doing?
It's okay.
Working over roofs in a town?
Well,
How exciting is that?
it's not very exciting, but I'm kind of the big fish in the small town.
Are you now? Who
Yeah.
do you have working with you? Any small fish in the small town?
No, I don't have any small fish.
Oh my. So it's just you working the crowd by yourself?
Yeah.
That's kind of bold.
Well, I mean, go big or go home.
That's true. Maybe you'd like to do something a little bit more adventurous.
I mean, out of
town. Yeah, leave Prigport. Go out and make some real money.
make some real money. Okay. You got a girl's attention now. So Basil, what do you propose?
Well, I need somebody to accompany me in my journeys. Help me out from time to time. Take a little weight off my shoulders. Not be the only one who's taking things and being sneaky and
So you want to be a little bit more specific and not so vague about everything? Would be nice.
I'm trying to hire you, damn it.
Okay. Well, just come out and say it. I mean,
Well,
can you,
I mean,
can you actually afford me?
what are your rates? What's your cut?
Well,
What are you making here? How much you managing to pull in a week?
well, last week wasn't very good, but
What's a good week?
I get a couple golds. It's best I can do.
Well, I know I can do better than that. Couple golds is the best you can do.
Well, yeah.
I saw you going after my pouch. I've got a whole passel of those in the other pouch. You kind of missed that.
Did I?
I checked my other pouch.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, pretty sure you did.
Okay.
How would you like a chance to join a group where this is the kind of scores we make every so often?
Really?
All you got to do is help me carry my things and, face a
Help
little
you carry your
danger
stuff. I mean,
and face a little danger here and there.
I'm not afraid of any danger.
So you say,
So what's this other group? You got a name or something?
have you ever heard of the Thunderous Fury?
No.
Oh well. Fame is so fleeting. The Ape Empire's heard of us. The Guild of Many Colors?
There's an empire of apes?
Oh my sweet winter child.
Somebody hasn't traveled very far, have they?
The Ape Empire isn't known around here?
Never heard of that. I mean, there's the Breggle.
Oh my. So there is an entire empire of apes. We've been chased by them for quite a long time now. We've been quite the thorn in their side. That's how we ended up here.
In Prigwort?
In Prigwort. We're trying to make our way back there. So I guess my friend Karn can be a thorn in their side again, or whatever it is they're doing.
Well, she
I just
steps
like
back.
making
Wait
them
a second. You mean Karn Stone?
Yeah, you've heard of him.
Yeah, you hang around some sort of saint of Cuthbert or something?
St. Cuthbert.
Well,
you'll-
okay, what's the catch? All right, okay. What's the catch? What's the real deal? You got a pamphlet to give me? What's going on here?
Oh, I'm sure he'll give
You trying to
a
convert
pamphlet.
me now?
I don't want to convert you, but what better cover is there to have some do-gooder around you that everybody looks at and they just think you're in his company and you're
Right. He can't be
that.
that. He can't be that oblivious to it.
You would be amazed at his stupidity.
Okay, so what's
Do you know what I heard that he just did yesterday? They saw danger coming in the middle of the woods. Everybody running hid, except for Corn. He just stood there.
Oh boy. Okay. I heard there was some kids get found or something. There was a big reward, I heard.
There is going to be a big reward.
Okay, so what are you offering me?
Well, you said you could make 2 golds a week. And that's on a good week. So I say I give you a gold and 5% of my take.
She spits up some of her beer. 5%? Come on.
That's a whole lot more than you've been making.
It is a whole lot more, but it sounds like there's going to be a whole lot more danger.
Well, there is
I'm
more
less
danger.
likely to be stabbed by somebody watching a marionette show than I am with you running around with some sort of paladin who doesn't run from fights.
Well, yeah, but he's a paladin who doesn't run from fights.
Yes, and when the people are done killing him, they will chase after who's with him.
But aren't you noticing a theme of they don't manage to kill him?
Yeah, but it only takes one. They only got to be right once.
And that's why it's called adventure.
Let's see. How about what was the offer? Something. How many gold?
I give you a gold a week and 5% of my take.
Gold a week and 20% of your take.
That's just a lot more than I can give. What do we say about 10?
10%.
10%.
Oh, Basil.
And I'll give you a 10 gold kicker to start.
10. Okay, no, that's not bad. 10 gold to start. Gold a week. Like what? And what do I got to carry? I mean, I'm not carrying weird shit either. Like you're not into freaky stuff, are you?
Well, not unless you are.
No. All right. So give me a 2d6 roll. Add your charisma, and then I give you a +2.
Okay. So, I rolled a 5 and a 4. So 9 minus 1 is 8 plus 2 is 10.
So you needed a 9 or better. So she says,
Wow.
"Okay, Basil. What was it?
Wilberforce.
Basil
I didn't say before.
Right. Testing you. Name's Bethel Birddow.
Bethel Birddow.
And the only thing I have for her now, I rolled. She has wavy hair,
Okay.
and she is competitive.
We can fill in the blanks later.
Right. And the name was random as well. What do we do now?
Well, tonight we're going to go see the Lady Harrimore.
She about spits out her beer again. What?
Well, I told you it'd be adventure. Do you
I
have
guess
any
so.
nice
We're just going
clothes?
straight to the top.
Is that the top around here?
Yeah, she's like in charge of the whole damn area around here. What do
Well,
you
that's
plan on
just
taking
not
from
right.
the Paramore Keep?
Well, she's going to give us a reward. We already did that work.
She's going to give you a reward.
We rescued her daughter.
Oh, that's right, because you got that paladin with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I helped him.
But we might be able to sneak off and get some stuff. I heard there's some good stuff in that keep.
We might be able to.
Yeah,
You never know what you can do.
I know. I'm not afraid to do it.
You know, you got to be smart about it, though.
Right.
Yeah, some places like that, they've got a lot, and especially when they're already giving you something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
especially the best time to do it because then they're not aware. Then they're not suspecting it.
Right, right. You take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I say, you got to be smart. So sometimes discretion is the better part of the valor, and you just take the reward and you go so you don't get caught and lose your head. But
Right.
if there's a good opportunity, you do take it.
Yeah.
The best thing I find to do is just to tag along behind the paladin. You run away from the fight, you offer a little air support, shoot a few arrows, be ready to run. And when the paladin kills everything off, then we get to loot the corpses. Makes a pretty good living.
Well,
Sometimes you even help people, and occasionally, I mean, I hate to say it, that feels good. But then other times you just get to rob people too, especially when it's people that are like, you know, bad people. Then you go and you rob them. You feel really good about that. You get paid and, you know,
That's his take on things.
but do you got some nice clothes?
you're looking at them,
Oh boy, how's her clothes look?
you know, like somebody who picks pockets at
Not
Marionette.
ready for Lady Harrimore. Well, I can't
No.
exactly take her to the tailor's anymore. Do you know somewhere where we can buy something nicer without going to go see that tailor right here?
But Taylor, what are you talking about? No, he
Yeah.
wouldn't see us. I can't afford that.
Well, who do you think made these?
What?
Went through this cloak.
That is really nice.
Yeah, only I don't want to go back there. Place left a bad taste in my mouth. He's not very good. Is there anywhere other than his that we could get you some nice clothes?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the general store we can go to and pick up some decent clothes, I would say, better than these. I guess if we're going to go there, I just don't want anything that makes me stand out. You know, I want to like blend in.
Like these.
Right.
Exactly. Let's go.
You go to the general store to get her some clothes.
We pick her out some nondescript but nice clothes.
Okay.
What do you got to carry with you? You got anything to keep you protected? Got a knife?
Let's see. Does she have a weapon? We'll randomly roll to see what kind of weapon she has, whether she can actually do it or not. 46. Okay. It's always a word that I gotta friggin' look up. She pulls out from her side a khopesh. Yeah, it's like an Egyptian sickle-shaped sword.
I think I know. Oh yeah, with a K. Yeah, I remember those. Okay. That looks quite nasty. That'll do well. And I'll probably try to outfit her in like some padded armor or leather armor of some sort
Okay.
and make sure she's able to at least take one hit before she dies.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to roll her hit points. Just give me a D100 roll. I'll tell you what her background is.
32.
She used to be a farmer.
Okay.
Are you going to bring her back to the group?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so as
Hey,
the group is at the Clashed Antler, Basil Wilberforce returns with his new friend.
Got a friend here
Okay.
to meet. Her name's Bethel, and I've kind of hired her to travel along with us and help me out.
All right, your money.
Basil comes up to you and he like kind of looks at her and he's like, nice find.
She's like, Bethel, nice to, who are you?
I'm Basil. Welcome.
You work out?
Whoa, wow. Wrong
Isn't it
question.
obvious?
Do you even lift, bro?
Look, you look like you could use some work. Look, I can help you out with a training plan. We can get it customized to your needs. I'm working on a supply of goat jerky. Trust me, it'll do wonders. But look, we'll get you buff in no time. You're gonna need it if you and he just kind of like flexes. If you're gonna roll with,
I'm not ripped like you, but I'm pretty wiry.
but you will be ripped.
I don't want to sacrifice bulk for being dexterous.
Suit yourself.
There is something to be said to being able to, jump through small openings up high and
She looks at Basil Bessex and continues, is like, what do you do? Like, what's your thing?
I punch people.
You ever do any arm wrestling?
I'm a champion.
You want to
I-
wager on that?
Oh, no, she
It's
didn't.
like it wouldn't be even a contest.
Yeah, I'd whip your ass pretty easy.
Oh, no, she didn't.
He like pulls over a table and like clears it off and like the most haphazard, like just like shoving things to the floor
All right.
and says, "You're gonna regret those words.
So what's our wager?
You're being paid, aren't you?"
You put in 5, I put in 5.
Sure.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
I rolled a 10.
Oh, and that's a nat 20.
Oh! So she quickly out of the chute just is like shocked at how strong she is.
Whoa.
3.
oh shit.
Oh, that's a fail. That's a 19. This is my low
Yikes.
rolling die.
So yeah, so she pins you to so incredibly, shockingly, she beats you, and she's like, "I can keep the gold. That's okay."
Clintok just says from across the room. Were you even using the right arm?
I was using my left arm. It's just as strong as my right.
Oh, maybe it looks as strong, but it isn't really as strong.
He's
Oh,
like,
wow.
she's like, "No, he's pretty strong. He's kind of cute too. Don't worry, things will look up for you."
Oh,
And she looks around the group, and she's like, okay, she notices Karin, ignore him. And she goes and looks at Clintok, and she's like, looks you up and down. Well, I knew that somebody, and looks over at Basil. I knew somebody who wears a fez isn't in charge of this group. You have the matching beret. You obviously got to be in charge of this. Bethel Burdow, pleased to meet you.
He reaches out to shake her hand and then attempts to slide a hand into her pocket
Okay.
with the 5. So leave the process. Whatever might be in her pocket.
Well, she's probably got the 5 gold pieces she put down for the arm wrestling match.
He's just he holds out his hand after he shows his ill-gotten gains and says, "Well, you did deserve these. You can keep them," and then hands them back to her.
Oh, okay. So she looks over at Basil. She's like, so there's more than one. All right.
But
Well,
you work for me.
right. I am working for you.
Okay. I
Don't
mean,
worry.
I know that Basil over there likes the hot mamas, but you got to make sure you do your job. What you do with him and the other rest of the time, I don't care.
Oh, he's not my type.
and she just flirted with him. Wow.
Nice.
So you visited the tailor too?
Oh yes, I've been to the tailor.
Wow. I definitely got to get some better duds.
Helps you get through the door in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So is there a plan? So I heard we're going to Harrimore Keep, and this is what Basil told me.
Oh yeah.
So what's the plan when she's distracted? Do you got a layout of the place? What do you plan on lifting?
Our plan is much bigger.
Oh, okay.
But I'll keep in mind, we've got a side operation, but I think you probably come in handy.
Nice. Just, you got to run it through.
Oh yeah, your employer.
He's got to get a cut of everything. So, I mean, it's like,
Hey, if he wants to start diluting his stock, I'm not going to stop.
What you have to keep in mind is that we're usually playing the long, and I look over at Karn and make sure that he's, sharpening his sword or whatever. And quiet my voice and go, a long con. It's not always about we get access to the castle tonight and we get what we get and we run. Sometimes you get access to the castle and you avoid the temptation because what you're going to do later is going to pay off so much better. And then we'll probably have to run.
yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of running, but
Oh, a lot of running.
hey,
Oh, yeah.
she goes over to John Tor. So what's your role? What do you do here?
So I'm the brewer. Now wait a minute. There's a critical question that has to be asked. What is her charisma?
Her charisma, see, I did roll up the stats as we were speaking, and that was sort of a little metagamey on my part because when I rolled her strength, I said, oh yeah, she is definitely going to try to arm wrestle Basil. So
I mean, I don't have to know the number, but does she look better than average or not? In other words, is John Tor
Oh
going
yeah,
to be...
she is better than average, yes. This was 3d6 down the line, and she actually rolled pretty good.
Oh yeah, I'm the brewer. And this is a great town for it. I mean, I'll be happy to take you out sometime and show you the town. I mean, show you the town. Poor John Tor's been around an all-male group for far too long, and, well, he's a teenager.
So you brew beer?
Yeah, well, I try to, but I mean, we're on the road so much. I think I can get something there were these oats, and I hate oatmeal, so I want to use them up anyway. I think I can get something going with an oat mash while we're on the road. That's why I love being in town so much. I mean, all these breweries, all these beers to try. It's so fantastic. What are you doing in town? He's clueless. He doesn't know. He hasn't figured out she's a thief yet.
Well, looks like I'm joining the group.
Whoa, is she getting a full cut, or did somebody hire you like that new guy with Tarn?
No, she says, no, just I'm just only taking half of yours.
What? Did he even recognize this? Okay, he did actually roll under his wisdom, which is hard, by the way, considering he's got an 8. He's like, oh, a joke. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, good talking to you. Kind of
Oh,
walks
yeah.
away.
Happy to see you around.
She walks over to Shimmering Pants Zofan, right? Aren't your pants shimmering?
They're more than shimmering.
Oh, that's right, the prismatic effect.
They've got the prismatic, yeah.
Did you get this at the tailor's as well?
I don't remember where I got it, actually. I was told that there was some time in the fairy realm, and well, I don't recall such things.
You guys have been to fairy too?
Apparently.
Orion mumbles something in the corner about too damn many times.
I had no pants, and I had these pants, and I ain't complaining. Kind of like sways his hips to just because I imagine I imagine when he does that, you get all this kind of these kind of rainbows that kind of dance on the floor. Light kind of plays off of it. I was skeptical at first, but they suit me.
Yeah, you know what I say, shake it if you got it. What's up with the hat?
It's for extra protection.
He gets hit in the head a lot.
Yeah, if I had a copper for every time that.
Oh, I'm sorry for the folk that you meet then.
Yeah, big work can be tough. So she goes over to Felix. Let's see. We've got the brewer, the tough guy, the dancer, the leader. You must be the brawler, the fighter.
Yes. Anywhere I can plant my blade.
Kind of looks around you a couple times. It's almost like you're there, but you're not there. And she puts her hand up and pokes you in the nose. It's like, oh wow, you are there. Okay. Sorry.
Was that ever really a question?
Yeah. It's almost that's weird.
Oh, strange things have happened to me.
Okay.
Anyways, that looks like a fine blade. You any good with it?
I could use some practice.
Well, anytime you need practice, just ask.
Nice. Okay.
Do you know what really helps when you're working with the blade?
What was that noise?
Not one to be ignored.
Oh no.
Following the path of Cuthbert, the discipline.
Oh, right. You must be Karn Stone, the paladin of St. Cuthbert.
Exactly. And he hands her some literature.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate this. I was going to ask you for it, but since you've already given it to me, once I've read it, surely we should talk about it.
Yes, indeed. Following the path of Cuthbert is not an easy path to follow.
Right.
It's very, very rewarding, especially in the afterlife.
Mostly in the afterlife. Coughs so fan.
But it may take me a while. I'm kind of a slow reader, but I'll get back to you on this. Love this, Cuthbert.
Oh, yes. Take all the time that you need.
I will.
He smiles. He's very happy. This is a great reaction to his advances. He's positive that he's got another Cuthbertite in the grooming.
Oh, God. It's like he believes Orion is going to be sooner or later.
No, he's given up on Orion, but that's his best good friend.
Oh, okay. Good.
She goes by Jeremiah and gives him a very sympathetic look, and then goes to Orion. Let's see.
You saved the best for last, did you?
I haven't talked to the goat yet.
See, you're going to fit in awfully well around here. We're one big dysfunctional family.
So you must be, well, I don't know. You must be some sort of orator or something, some sort of flashy song and dance man with a billowing cloak like that.
And so he will give her a bow and a flourish. Orion Attacapper, Bard, at your service. And oddly enough, the straight man in this group, as you have indeed discovered immediately.
Yes. Well, quite an ensemble Basil Wilberforce has found himself in.
Yes. Like I said, a big happy family. Wasn't exactly chosen, but we take care of each other, mostly.
It is my pleasure to meet all of you.
Welcome. We will have to do a rematch later.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Maybe talk about training programs as well.
It's an off day.
No days off, buddy.
Wow.
She kind of pulls up a chair, and she's like, okay, what's this deal with Harrimore Keep?
I mean, Basil may have different opinions, but I think we need to play this one a little straight. We're getting our money anyway.
Wouldn't want to risk making another enemy.
What? You don't plan on hanging around, so who cares?
You'd be amazed at how often we find ourselves back where we don't want to be.
So we have a plan that is going to require us to hang around for a few more days at least. This excursion to the Harrimores may be a good time to case the place, because we've never been there before. Have you?
I might have a little bit of information.
But have you actually been there?
I've got some reliable sources.
So we could compare your sources' information to reality.
Because if I'm going to make this worthwhile, we're going to have to, because I'm only getting 10%.
Sure. 10% of a whole lot is still a whole lot.
Right. If we get up to 10K, then it'll be worth our while.
Clintok like pipes in. Whoa. Don't get ahead of yourself, Basil. Like,
That's not Basil. That's
Bethel.
well, yeah. Basil, we don't need to romp the queen blind. She'll open up her purse and give us money because we are going to offer her a service.
I suggest that she listen to him.
Orion goes quietly so that the people outside the conversation don't hear. If you want con, talk to Clintok.
This one isn't even, well, mostly isn't even a con. I just have evidence that basically all the council members are corrupt. And I figured that's news that the lady would like to hear. And I don't know about you, Basil, but either controlling the queen's ear or the council, that's worth its weight in gold. And I don't even need to get my hands dirty. And Karn, this is on the up and up. This is above the board.
She's like, this guy's a friggin' genius.
We make money by doing the right thing.
Stifle a laugh and wander off the corner, just continuing to stifle a laugh.
Well, if the lady knows and doesn't care, then we merely make use of all of these free votes. And I don't know about you, but I like to fancy myself a council seat if I have to.
And imagine
And boy-
what you can get from that.
Yeah, and boy, if you don't think the counselors are the biggest thieves of all.
Besides, if you sit on the council, you can probably make Captain Hogwash look the other way if, for a chance, you manage to wind up on the wrong side of the law.
So you have absolutely got Bethel's attention as she is intrigued by your what you're planning.
But that's all I'm going to tell you for now. All the details are better kept secret until necessary. Need to know kind of situation.
Yeah, she kind of gives you an approving nod and kind of like whispers like, we'll talk later. And that is, I think, a good place to stop. I will remind you guys that you were paid for the return of Violet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Pretty handsomely.
yeah, then we've already split that up.
Right. So, assuming that she's going to pay you more when you show up, may not happen.
May not happen. All right. Well, Clintok's explained what he's got. The not a con he's got going on.
Yeah, I randomly rolled her stats, Paul, if you
Okay.
want it. What's a thief's hit points? A D4?
D4, yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you roll that.
Okay. Is she first level?
Yeah, first level.
Roll one. Roll one.
Oh,
One.
2.
Okay, with her con score, she has 1 hit point. That was the one stat I rolled low on. Everything else was pretty good.
Of course.
Damn.
I was
Nice.
hoping
really-
she wouldn't have a crappy dex because I was like, oh man, that's kind but it wasn't.
She really is following in Basil Wilberforce's footsteps, isn't she?
Yeah.
Con negative. Yep.
That's a freaking great one.
Yeah, so we'll do like go up to House Harrowmore probably. That'll probably be the next session. However, you guys, want to run that, like whatever your plan is. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to do with the Earl of Yellow, but I figured the dunk tank was amusing.
Yeah. I like
Oh
that.
yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And
I'm picturing Karn still going into the dunk tank.
I mean, now you have that cake knife.
Right, and he can only have 1 sliver of cake every day. He's gonna have to give cake to everybody. He'll have to go to Basil and be like, "Hey, we need to work on our training, man. I got extra weight to work on."
He can't really help you with cardio.
and I would say for Felix with that, the weird phasing in and out, like when you're in full plate, it really wouldn't affect you so much. But if you weren't wearing it, remind me of that because
Okay.
that will affect your armor class
All right, cool.
in a
Yeah.
positive way.
Sounds good. Karn's gonna start cultivating mass, clearly.
That wasn't just a cosmetic effect. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
excited.
the more I think about it, yeah, that would affect your AC.
Cool.
And then remind, like the stuff that's not obvious, like Zophan's pants, remind me of those because that may have an effect as well. I'm
Will
guessing
Right.
when you're tumbling or trying to do something else.
Yeah, I imagine it's pretty flashy. Ah, it's the dark side of the moon.
Oh, no, it's the too bright side of the moon.
Well, thanks for running, Peter. It was fun.
Yeah. That's a good
Good.
game.
Oh yeah, fun as always.
Thank you guys for playing. All right.
All right.
Appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Yeah.
Take care.
It's just swimming with golden